Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, show of hands. How many of you sickos woke up at 1 o'clock this morning, brewed a pot of coffee, and watched Lynx Golf in Northern Ireland? How many? How many of you? Happy Friday. You've almost made it to your weekend. Eric Reeser, joined by a couple that I might think would have done what I just asked. The venerable Tim May. Were you up this morning at 1?
I've done that in the past, but not now because I had to, get my beauty sleep for this show, which is obviously simulcast on YouTube.
Yes, it is. Appreciate you doing that. Looking good for the YouTube audience.
I do have my Brian DeChambeau Crushers cap on, though.
So that's the team golf name?
And that's a rooting interest, and he was doing extremely well on the back nine, I think. He may slip in, may make the cut at +2, I
Plus
think.
+2 is the projected cut for the 135th British Open
He had a bad day
right now.
Bad day on Thursday.
+7 for DeChambeau.
Yeah.
He's bounced back, to your point. He's -5 on the day through 14, but 2 over par should get him through to the weekend. I do think the one thing, and really the only thing that Live Golf did well was make their merchandise cool. Like the team golf, I don't have any interest in. But to your point about the skull and crossbones or the golf ball and T crosses.
The scared to death golf ball with the crossed clubs underneath. I think it's iconic, and I really like it, and I wear it.
That works for cool merch. We got a busy show, so I do appreciate you getting your beauty rest. Texas is our interesting college football program today. We'll go to Austin for the 20 most interesting programs in a school with a football team that we will talk so much about over the next month and a half.
Yeah.
As they are the premier opponent for your 2025 Ohio State football season. Ohio State and Texas, August 30th in Columbus. Anwar Richardson covers the Longhorns for orangebloods.com. He'll join us at 11:30. Who's got more pressure? And then I'll ask you this right now. We'll get Anwar's thoughts at 11:30. Who's got more pressure to make this work? Steve Sarkisian or Arch Manning?
Both. They're intertwined, as the old saying goes. And the big question, I brought it up with Finebaum. We've talked Paul Finebaum even. I mean, if Arch Manning, everybody's talking about him like he is the next coming,
yes,
of the great quarterback. And, he had a couple of really good games last year against Mississippi State, whom Toledo drubbed. And as I keep reminding people, and either UT San Antonio or one of those kind of teams. And in my opinion, the jury's still out on him. And Steve Sarkisian has kind of tied his lasso to that comet. Yet he wasn't good enough to replace obviously at times struggling or at least physically incapacitated to a certain extent Quinn Ewers last year. He goes in for one play against Ohio State and meets Lathan Ransom and leaves and never comes back in again. So the jury's out on both of these guys, but Sarkisian was going into his 5th season, I do believe, and he's played in the playoffs the last 2 years. Quinn Ewers got him close 2 years in a row, but couldn't finish the deal against Washington in the semifinals, and then against Ohio State last year. So, I think there's pressure there.
You mentioned Paul Finebaum. We'll have college football's chief antagonist on the show at 10:30. Yo, boys will have to play nice, or I will turn this car around.
He'll also have like an AM3 probably shirt on, because I've never seen a guy promote a person more than Paul Finebaum is promoting Arch Manning III.
There's a lot of hype with this, and as understandably so. His last name's Manning. He plays for one of the premier programs in the sport, and the first game that it's going to be his program is against the defending national champions.
Yes.
You'll have Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas next week. You will not be attending those. Did I hear that correctly?
I just canceled. I had to cancel my plane, and because I thought I could sneak out there and sneak back, and my wife wouldn't notice I was gone.
It's fascinating to me. You thought you could just sneak out to Las Vegas.
But my middle kid, Corey, he's getting married at the end of the week, next week, and it's all hands on deck all week. Even though I'm sure most of the time I'll be sitting there watching the Big Ten press conferences on television.
So
but I was told basically I couldn't leave town. So it is what it is, man. It's the first one I will have missed in a very, well, maybe since 1984. I'm trying to think. They didn't have one in 2000. So that's a long time. So I missed the Indianapolis 500 for the first time in 41 years this year. I guess all good things come to an end, or at least have a blip.
Well, you're on good dad duty for the week, at least.
Yes.
So it's a very understandable miss. But
good husband duty more than anything else.
So there's that. Ohio State's Ryan Day is going to he'll talk on Tuesday. That's when the festivities begin at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Vegas.
Great place.
When I'm sure, when I think of the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's what you first think of, Mandalay Bay. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get.
Oh, you and me both.
Because there are a lot of media entities now that can't afford trips like that. And then when you stack on top of it, like with Ohio State last year, covering Ohio State, after they left town, after the drubbing of SEC vaunted member Tennessee, we'll get into that with Paul Finebaum about the SEC thinking it's vaunted still. Then there were 3 major road trips, and a lot of people can't afford that. I mean, and it's going to be interesting as this thing moves along. Now, with Ohio State, only 2 teams made it to the championship game. I understand that. But, going to the Rose Bowl, going to the Cotton Bowl, and then going to the national championship game, those were major trips. And for just the fans, I remember me and my buddy Jeff Snook sitting next to a guy in a bar in Atlanta the night before the Ohio State championship game against Notre Dame, and that guy had paid $5,000 each for tickets just to the game. And I just go, man, but can you do that again next year? I mean, there are a lot of people with a lot of money floating around out there, Eric.
That I have no doubt.
That aren't in the radio business. But
none of them are in the radio business.
That's just I wonder how long the blood's going to last in that turnip, I guess.
You and me both. Eli Drinkwitz made some headlines yesterday, the head coach of Missouri, but
more games.
More games, more asks, more money, more. I mean, this is the insatiable beast.
Yeah.
Is college football, and you're going to get more. Maybe, because Greg Sankey had some comments, again, at the top of the week. We'll get into at 10 o'clock. Because it is the 20 most interesting programs that we'll do at the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to have to shuffle some things around. With what we learned this week coming up at 10 o'clock, again, Paul Finebaum, he'll be at 10:30. We'll get to the comments by Eli Drinkwitz coming up at 9:30. But just real quick with the news yesterday that was made official that Fox Sports and Barstool Sports are going to enter into a partnership that will see Dave Portnoy, maybe chief or lieutenant Buckeye antagonist, join a premier college football broadcast that will emanate week 1 from Columbus. Has you feeling what, Tim May?
All I know is our pregame show before the Tennessee game, the first round of the playoffs last year, was on Lane Avenue and had moved, and they were having the Barstool, whatever you want to call it, pep rally back behind us in the parking lot there. And didn't sound pro Ohio State at all, And it was a very strange juxtaposition. Us doing our pregame show, tailgate show, right there in front of that, and I got off the set a couple of times and listened to some of the blasphemy going on, and I just say, hey, good luck to that hookup.
They'll be.
I don't really watch Barstool Sports much, if at all, unless they're
Same.
behind the scenes of something I'm watching regularly, but. Good luck with that.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
With the news from Fox Sports this week of them jettisoning 3 of their programs, the content sharing agreement that they entered into will give FS1 access to Barstool Sports content, which is wildly popular to those of younger generations. I'm certainly with you in that it doesn't do anything for me.
I'm not sure who's badging whom there, whether Barstool is badging Fox or Fox is badging Barstool. You know what I mean? When you you buy a car, but it's not really built by that company, it's built by somebody else. So it'll be interesting. Let's leave it. I'll leave it at that. It will be very interesting.
That's a good word for it. Just real quick, we've got something neat for our listeners. 2 tickets to a bourbon event at the Cherry Valley Hotel in Newark on Saturday, July 26th. What's this event called, you might ask? It's called Neat. Explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to cherryvalleyhotel.com. But caller number 2 at 821-9710 will get a pair of tickets to that bourbon event Saturday, July 26th. Coming up next, did Trey Hendrickson's asking price go up? It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Matty Ice here, up at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. They are celebrating July 4th all month long. Right now, for qualified buyers, get up to $12,000 off MSRP on a 25 Silverado 1500. With McDaniel GM Superstore, you don't have to worry about market adjustments or hidden costs. That's why they are my go-to for a new vehicle. They are just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see more isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly to partly cloudy skies with our highs in the mid to low 80s. For tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy skies overnight with lows in the upper 60s. And then for Saturday, scattered shower and thunderstorm chances yet again the second half of the day. And warmer with highs getting into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with your 10 weather impact forecast.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. If you love a good pie analogy,
think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Eric Reeser, Tim May, Jacob Reimer rolling along until noon today. Before we get to the TJ Watt contract extension and what it may or may not mean for Trey Hendrickson, as you may have heard at the top of the hour update, the anchor had mentioned Texas A&M's head coach Mike Elko. He was at SEC Media Days yesterday and actually came out to his fight song. They didn't make him come out to Texas's fight song.
I know every word of that fight song.
Which one? The A&M fight song?
Yeah. Chigga-Rim.
If I had it available, I got to be quicker than that, because if I had it available, I'd play it and make you sing it for us. We won't do that on this program, maybe sometime in the next week or so. But Elko, among different things with his current program, was asked about Shamar Stewart, because there was the scuttlebutt from earlier in the week from Bud Elliott of 24/7 Sports saying that he was hearing while Shamar was working out in College Station that talk in that camp had Shamar returning to Texas A&M while he still had a year of eligibility, or could argue for a year of eligibility. He might do that rather than sign a contract with the Cincinnati Bengals that he did not want because lack of guarantees that even a second-round pick just got yesterday from the Seattle Seahawks. And while there is a lot of stuff to cut through, like you feel like a machete through tall grass, to kind of get to the idea that Shamar's going to play for Texas A&M rather than the Cincinnati Bengals, Mike Elko was asked about it, and I do think he threw a big old bucket of water on the fire.
Shamar Stewart's back with us, working out, getting ready to go to Cincinnati to play in the NFL. It's amazing maybe what can get created on social media these days, but there's no intentions of Shamar to play for the Aggies this year. But Shamar has been around. I think he's very comfortable in our program, really likes the things we do training-wise, and so he's been training, getting ready for his season this year with the Bengals, and we wish him the best.
It's just a bad game of telephone.
Yeah, here's the thing. Is for a long time, once you declare for the NFL draft, if you're a college football player, your eligibility is done. And that's been a rule going back eons. So I don't know who started. I mean, wow, I heard in the restroom that blah, blah, blah was going to happen. I mean, that was, at least check it out. You know what I mean? Whether it's even potential before you post it. Let's put it that way. But that was much ado about nothing the way I look at it. And I think Mike Elko looked at it the same way.
He absolutely did. And it is
Of course, he would take Shamar Stewart back in a heartbeat.
It is an easy thing to do for the Cincinnati Bengals to point and laugh at them because of issues that front office has had almost forever with paying their players. It's a notoriously cheap organization.
Yeah, it's their thing.
It's the Vogue thing to do. Like
it's their thing.
Poverty organization.
It's the richest. Well, I don't know. Maybe FIFA, maybe big time soccer is richer. Formula One for individuals is richer, but it's as rich a league as there is in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm talking about the National Football League. There's no very little reason to parse over contract terms, et cetera. Number two, you know what you're getting. Once you're drafted, you know where you're slotted. You know what you're getting right off the bat. You know, anybody can look it up. So the little incentives aspect of things, yeah, those are little sprinkles they can put on your ice cream cone, but the main part of your ice cream cone is going to remain the same.
If they're giving a rookie an ice cream cone, what do you think the Steelers gave TJ Watt? Do you remember Max and Irma's?
Yeah.
And how if you got their ice cream sundae, it would come in a bathtub?
I just remember that goblet you got with beer, you know, and then the one in German Village had an interesting tap, but that's another story.
The tap of beer?
Yeah, where the tap was. It was.
German Village Max and Irma's is great.
I shouldn't even.
I miss it.
I shouldn't even have gone that route. But the bottom line is, it's where the tap came out. You know what I mean? But that's another story. Yeah, I mean, T.J. Watt, is he worth it now? I don't know. T.J. Watt's been at the top of has been at the top of what he does for a long time, and I appreciate what he brings to the situation. It's more like it's a reward for him as much as it is, because how much longer?
Thank you for your service.
How much longer can he go? Right?
That's a good question.
Exactly. But the NFL doesn't really do that. You know, they don't really give you bonuses going out the door. His problem is, man, a slimmer, trimmer DeJuan Jones was his worst nightmare.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. We'll see if that can happen again for DeJuan Jones. But for example, he can be blocked, I guess is my point.
So the Steelers made Watt the highest paid non-quarterback in history. They gave him a 3-year, $123 million extension. 108 of that is fully guaranteed. His average annual value is $41 million. That's $1 million more than what the Browns gave to Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's just a little bit less than what you're making.
It's just a tad south of
Go
my
ahead.
average annual value to 97.1 The Fan. In 3 of his 8 seasons, he's led the league in sacks. They do every offseason, ESPN does. They talk to scouts, talent evaluators, general managers, and coaches in the National Football League. And everybody said that TJ Watt is 1, 2, 3 of the best at that position.
Yeah.
One of the most important that you have in football.
In his way, from an effectiveness standpoint, he's a little bit like Aaron Donald, too, was. When you need it the most is when Aaron Donald would step up and make a play, like in the Super Bowl. I mean, right on down the line. And T.J. Watt's been that player, too. I mean, it's not just he has numbers. It's when the numbers come. Go ahead.
And just the leader of that defense. And what Pittsburgh's been for my entire life, a defensive-led team. Even when they had Ben Roethlisberger, it was still, guys on the defensive side of the ball where they were the leaders there. And so he's been that for Pittsburgh. And what now, for me, feels like a Steelers team that's all in. I mean, you get DK Metcalf in March. Yep. You do that to set up the Aaron Rodgers arrival. And now you give TJ Watt this extension, a 30-year-old TJ Watt this extension. He'll be 31 in October. This tells me it's all in for Pittsburgh.
And your starting quarterback in Waitings right there, Will Howard.
He's got a great opportunity.
You got Jack Sawyer with a chance to just add a little bit of salt and pepper to the steak defensively.
Those two couldn't have landed, I think, in a better spot. And as a Browns fan, it pains me because I think I'm going to hear a lot of Jack Sawyer in the next 5 to 10 years. But
well, I've long been a Mike Tomlin fan. I mean, he's about the nitty gritty of playing football. Number one, number two, like you just pointed out, their plan is very seldom changed. Don't make, and this is what's hurt them the last several years. Don't make mistakes on offense that put your defense in jeopardy. Get to the fourth
field goal
quarter.
games.
Exactly. Get to the fourth quarter with a chance to win, but you got to have a quarterback, that takes care of the football. And we'll see whether Aaron Rodgers in this iteration, black and gold iteration, is going to be that guy. But I'm just curious because I do think the defense, Cameron Hayward, he's got at least one more good year in him, it looks like. Speaking of former Buckeyes.
I feel like that's been said like the last couple of seasons about Hayward, and he's produced.
Exactly.
He's produced, and he's been a leader on that defensive front.
He's a leader par excellence.
And I hate glazing the Steelers like we are, but you have to, I think, give the credit where it is due because they're putting their money where their mouths are.
I didn't mean to throw that French in there, par excellence.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. Later in the hour, we'll go across the pond to Royal Portrush. So we're an international program here. Yeah. Actually, we do have listeners. There's one in Austria. We've talked to listeners in England. We've read emails from listeners in Australia. This is a worldwide international program. Yes. What we're doing on Bishop and Friends, weekdays 9 to noon. But one of the questions coming out of Cincinnati was, with this TJ Watt contract extension, what do you do with Trey Hendrickson? Does his price go up? He'll go into this next season, his last under contract, making $16 million a year. Now, he had 17.5 sacks the last 2 seasons. He led the league in that category last year. Yeah. He's 31. Watt's 31 this October. Myles Garrett, who I just told you got $40 million a year, turns 30. That's been the biggest sticking point for Cincinnati about Trey. Well, he's on the wrong side of 30. We can't allocate that kind of money to that sort of a position. And 2 teams in your division have.
They don't allocate it before he gets to 30, and now they can't allocate it afterwards. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. What you have to understand about National Football League teams is they're all under one shield, right? But there are different companies operating under that shield. And the way the Bengals do business should never be confused with almost anybody else in the National Football League.
I don't think this has Trey's price going up. But I think this increases the likelihood that Trey Hendrickson's not a Cincinnati Bengal come next season.
Yeah, it's too bad. The guy's a player. Like I said, he can summon it. I mean, on that Netflix quarterback, I think it's Netflix, maybe it's Amazon.
Yep.
Quarterback. I mean, there's a great little moment in one of them where Joe Burrow says, "Come on, Trey, we need one here," and then the next shot is him making a sack.
Making that play.
And that was, I'm paraphrasing both of that comment from Joe, but it was pretty much like that. But the bottom line is, some of these guys are special, man, and they should be rewarded. Funny thing is, though, I remember Nick Bosa. I've said this before on this show, but Nick Bosa one time, I said, "Man, you guys have got it made, you defensive ends." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because you make one sack, wow. 2 sacks, wow. You have reinvented the position. And a game, you've only got to make 2 plays a game, and everybody thinks you're great." He goes, "That's right." And he's exactly. Meanwhile, the left tackle has to block you every play, And so if you can get it, man, get it. And Trey Hendrickson, next year, the Bengals need to take care of their knitting there because he's special.
Well, my thought about this was, and this was even when there were discussions or you were hearing discontent with Trey Hendrickson and his situation in Cincinnati. September 7th, game 1 between the Bengals and the Browns. I expect Shamar Stewart and I expect Trey Hendrickson to be wearing Cincinnati's Bengals uniforms. So that's, I think, the most important part when this comes to what do the Bengals do. At this point, you just expect that to be the case, again, come September 7th. Eli Drinkwitz for college football commissioner. You'll hear from him in 2 minutes. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Here's what's up on a Friday. College football playoff expansion. It's likely coming. I'm not thrilled with that, Tim May.
Well,
I prefer to just stay at 12.
It's inevitable. Now, all of a sudden, some people are saying, hey, 12 isn't so bad. So we'll see where it goes. It's kind of stupid to talk about it until you come up with a plan.
Well, they keep kicking the can down the road with discussions and then more discussions about having discussions.
That's what college is all about.
It's the theme, right?
Kick the can, man.
You had Eli Drinkwitz at SEC Media Days yesterday talking about a model for the college football playoff. And what he had initially said at the podium drew a lot of criticism, and I think rightfully so, because you hear one thing, and maybe that's not what he meant, but the message he sent indicated a 30-team playoff? He says, quote, my math could be wrong here, but if we did the 12, okay, and you had 4 automatic qualifiers, everybody thinks that's limiting. It's not limiting if you think about it from, you take those 4 automatic qualifiers and you divide that into 8 opportunities of 8 play-in games. Now you're thinking the SEC is playing in for 8. The Big Ten is playing in for 8. Since we've expanded the bowl to 16, give 3 to the Big 12, 3 to the ACC, 1, etc. And that was the biggest thing from his takeaway on the podium was 30 teams in a college football playoff. What are you, nuts?
You're a young guy. Did you ever see, but have you ever watched reruns of the Beverly Hillbillies?
I have not.
Well, Jethro one time was going to become a magician, and he had watched this guy do a magic trick where he rolled up a sheet of a newspaper and then held it in his hand and poured milk into it. And then he said, wait a minute, I've changed my mind, and he smashed the newspaper and there was no milk. So Jethro does it. Pours the milk into the newspaper, and he goes, I am thirsty. I think I will have a drink of milk. And he rolls up the newspaper, pours the milk into it, and he goes, I have changed my mind. And he goes, plamp, and milk goes everywhere. That's what these plans feel like. Way back when, I talked about this the other day on this show. Way back when, I devised a 16-team playoff, which would be only entail 8 major conferences with a minimum of 12 teams in them, and you would have a championship game. And this was I wrote this 30, 35 years ago. And matter of fact, the NCAA News picked it up and reran it. But you would have, that way you would have 16 teams in the playoff initially, and they would play for their conference championships. And then you have the 8 winners would go into the rest of the college football playoff. So different forms of these plans have been floated before.
And
everybody's trying to get everybody to have a shot. Mm-hmm. That's not what it should be about. And we all know at the end of the year, there are rarely more than 4 or 5 just superstar,
you're right,
outstanding college football teams. I was totally happy with 2 playing the BCS. Finally, you made them play it off instead of brag. One wire service gave this guy a championship. The other wire service gave this guy a championship. We saw split championships several times. As a matter of fact, in Michigan in 1997 when they won their last one. But the bottom line is the more you add, the more people who want to be in it. And it's almost participation trophies, for one of another term. And so I'm for going to 8.
You can't go back now.
I'm for going the other direction.
I agree with you.
Because 8 is where the rubber meets the road, as Ross Perot would have put it. And now you're going to have maybe 25 or 26, 30 teams involved in some form of playoff, and it's going to, guys are going to, anyway, college football rosters are not built for that.
No. And
then again, only 2 teams ended up have to play in the championship game, advance that far.
Only 2 have the 16
right, but
full
16
Texas, game slate.
Texas and Ohio State 17. Both played 16 games last year because Texas had to play in the SEC championship game and got kind of beat up in that game a little bit against Georgia. And so, 17-game college football seasons, wow, that's a lot.
We're going to have playoff expansion, I fully believe. I agree with you. It should have stayed 2, 4, fine, whatever. You're not going back on this. We'll talk a little bit about what could be in the immediate future, not necessarily moving to that 16-team model, but you'll hear it from Big Ten coaches next week. You'll hear from ACC coaches next week, as both those conferences have their respective media days, which playoff format that they want to push. What I had thought going into SEC media days was everybody would be singing the same song, that 5+11 model that Greg Sankey wanted. I'd also, to Eli's comments yesterday, had forgotten about the play-in format that had been floated out there as these discussions were ongoing after January. Eli Drinkwitz then went on Jim Rome's show, and this was an early contender for. Did you ever listen to the Jim Rome show, the Smack Off? Eli does Eli does a pretty good smack off to the college football playoff selection committee, but here's Missouri's head coach clarifying what he had said at the podium.
The one thing I need to do is clarify what my, because they're saying, I said 30-team playoff. That is not what I'm saying, okay? I'm saying in a 16-team playoff model, create play-in games, all right? So instead of having a selection committee, select the best 11 teams, if you give in a 16-team playoff model, if you give the Big Ten and the SEC 4 automatic qualifiers, they can multiply that into 4 play-in games, which means, hey, 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, and the winner of those games make the playoffs. And, to me, I think that's a system that creates more inclusivity. And look, here's what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, this game is about 2 people. It's about the fans and it's about the players. Without those 2 things, none of this other stuff matters. You don't matter. I don't matter. The commissioners don't matter. The SEC doesn't matter. Okay? You have to have players and you have to have fans.
And so, to his point, it's a 16-team playoff.
About having 11 players on each team on the field every play. I thought he was going to get into the real nitty-gritty of it.
Oh, there was about 40 seconds left in that cut, but I think the meat of it was it's still a 16-teamer, which is what we think we're careening towards.
But no, it's not. Because you had 4 teams. Let's say, like in his model, you would add at least 8 teams to the playoff because you to have 4 play-in games. But
that's not his idea. That has already been floated.
I know, but that's what he just brought up just a second ago.
I didn't expect it from the SEC coach.
Yeah, so that would be 24 teams no matter what. So, but go ahead. I don't have any necessarily problem with that, but I really think this is going to sound really odd. I think it penalizes the better teams the more games you have to play because anybody can get hot.
Yeah.
You could have a blizzard blow in. I mean, talk about ask SMU about going to Penn State last year.
Sure.
They literally, it's like they left their coach at home or something.
It was a different team.
They were totally out of their element. I'm not a fan of that either. We talked about that last year. But I don't know how many you have to. I mean, like I said, it sounds really good on paper to have added games, but physically, are these teams built to have those added games?
Nobody's concerned
especially
about that.
in the 105 era now of
roster limits.
Roster limits. No, they're not. I mean, you're going to see. Look at Georgia last year. They lost their quarterback in the SEC championship game. Where'd they go? He's now at Miami. But where did they get beat? They tried to keep it a secret so they wouldn't get left out if they lost it was crazy, man, the way that game went down. But that's an example, and that could hit anybody at any time.
Yeah, I mean, what Eli, I think, is his main point with all of this is he wants to eliminate the selection committee. He wants to do everything on the field, which is, I think, a commendable idea to push. And what he uses, for example, is Florida State. When they lost Jordan Travis, and the committee said, you're not the same team. He also mentioned in the interview with Jim Rome that Florida State fans can deal with if that team still gets a chance for the playoff. What they might not be able to ever get over is being snubbed from the playoff.
Correct.
Despite not losing on the field.
Florida State deserved to be in the playoff.
Because
there's no doubt about it. The problem I have is you got 18 teams in the Big Ten.
Yep.
16 in the SEC. We'll see where they finally settle out. But what if in those play-in games that he's talking about, you have rematches?
Sure.
That's not inclusion of guys. That's not inclusion of teams in an 18-team league. What if Ohio State and Michigan, for example, have to play again in a playoff, in a play-in game? that's not adding another team to the mix.
That's adding more inventory, though.
I just, the jeopardy it brings for college football teams and how tough it is to beat some team 2 times in one season. We've all seen that, even in the National Football League, we've all seen how difficult that can be. So, I think go to 16 teams. I like the 4-4-2-2-1 model. That's my opinion, and the rest of it's debate.
And that's one of the reasons that you will not eliminate the College Football Playoff Committee. I go back to that word, inventory. That's how college football is viewed now.
Correct. You got to have somebody to set the order.
ESPN programs so much of their content around the College Football Playoff Committee. So they're going to get more games, but they're also going to keep the committee so that you can argue and have banter about it. Eli's plan is bold. You'll probably hear something similar next week with the Big Ten because I think they are with you about the 4-4-2-2-1-3 model. I
thought people could do their own math there, but yeah.
Math's really hard.
Yeah.
I would like to hope that if you're going to do something, let's come to an actual decision on it so that we kind of can plan ahead.
Well, they had a meeting, in Asheville, North Carolina. They
always have meetings, but they always kick the can down the road.
To set another meeting.
At these meetings. There will be more meetings. There will be more lawyers.
You got to get some golf in, man, or you're not really doing it right.
I mean, you're preaching to the Hugh Freeze choir.
Yeah.
The government is also not coming to help save this mess. That's next. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has deals that are red hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for only $339 a month or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or you can take on any road in the all-new 25 Honda Passport RTL. Lease it now for $449 a month or 3.99% APR. Summer's here. Dive into the savings at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Colin, Man, and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Timmy?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things going on this month, like karaoke.
And crab legs.
No, not yet. Live bands. We've got food trucks in the outdoor valet area.
Crab legs.
Oh, not yet. On select weekend days throughout the summer. Okay, now crab legs.
And all you can eat crab legs at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Join Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on us. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Oh, yeah, we love crab legs.
Time for crab legs?
Okay, crab legs.
The Dublin Irish Festival, August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org before July 20 to save.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
At Delta Dental of Ohio, we understand oral and vision health is connected to overall well-being. With Delta Dental and Delta Vision, you get affordable, comprehensive coverage from a name you know and trust. Our plans are designed to keep your teeth strong and vision clear, so you can confidently smile at life. 2 great plans, 1 name you can trust. Learn more at deltadentaloh.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
It's hot out. Stay in the house and cool yourself with the sweet sounds of The Fan. You can watch on YouTube or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan. It's the equivalent of putting ice cubes down your pants.
All right!
The Fan.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Eric Reeser, Tim May, Jacob Reimer with you until noon today. So often, Tim, I'm accused of being that guy on the air that when given requests or suggestions for dinner, hey, you want chicken, hey, you want hamburgers, hey, you want hot dogs, I just poo-poo everything without offering my own suggestion for dinner, which I do think is like the worst person in the world. I don't feel that I do that, but I'll address the accusations with this. I think what you need to do with college football is separate it from the rest of college athletics.
Well,
big boy Power 5 football or Power 4 football in the group of 5 needs to be done separately. Yeah. You need to take the football players and make them employees of the university. The other sports, I think then once you've done that, can make it a little easier to navigate all of that. I say that with the understanding it's not going to happen.
Major college football, Division I has been sort of separate to a certain extent.
You need to make it official, I think.
For a while now, but you're talking about further separation of the haves and the have-nots. And, I've talked about this before. I keep saying that, but, there are a lot of things you talk about before, right?
Sure.
But, I was talking with the Bowling Green athletic director about it a couple of months ago, and, they're already formulating the other guys. What do you call them? The lesser 5.
The group of 4, or group of 5, yeah.
Basically, the lesser 5s of kind of doing their own thing because they understand they're not in the same ballpark with Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia, et cetera, even in the revenue sharing aspect of things. And there's no reason to try to fake it. And then we see where Ohio University.
I hate that. I hate that. This idea.
Right, but exploring the idea at least of moving to the Sun
Belt
Conference.
I get why they're doing it.
I do too.
But I hate it.
I do too. It's a money chase in all kinds of ways. It's an interesting time. But the thing about it is, we've all who cover major college sports, we've always seen the difference. We've always seen the difference between Ohio State.
It's obvious to everybody.
And Ohio University. Yeah. Yet they're operating under
this season.
But they're operating under the same rules.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about 10 yards as a first down type rule. I'm talking about off the field, and that's what the big boys have always felt that held them back from really taking this whole money crunch to another level. I mean, it's a money crunch is what we're talking about. I mean, the pursuit of the greenbacks.
Yeah.
And they may or may not be accurate, but you've always got to have somebody to play, somebody to beat. Is the way I look at it. But yeah, I think we're eventually. I'm not sure that's not going to be a mistake because you know what? There already is the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
There have been attempts to have other leagues.
Yep.
And the only league that really had a little bit of really kind of like staying power for a while was the USFL. But before that, it was the American Football League, which eventually merged with the National Football League, in the mid-late 60s, the Joe Namath era. So it's really hard to have another pro football league. But is that what you want in college football? Because that's really
it's what we're careening towards anyway.
The model they're working on in here, I mean, guys playing college football are making a hell of a lot more than anybody playing the XFL.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close. So
think of the terms that we've used.
There still has to be a school element involved in it is the main point I'm making. And or else it's not really college football.
I do think the difference is that there's already established connections from fan bases with their schools. Like it's a hyper regional thing where there's always going to be love from Ohio State fans to Ohio State without really worrying what goes on the main campus, right? Without worrying,
of course,
is student X going to class? And I think this
is the picture window on Main Street.
College football has been so ingrained in us that I think it'll be okay if it goes to the model where the players become employees. But I think that's the only way you really solve all of this. If you want to wrestle some control back to the institutions, back to the athletic departments, back to the football coaches, they've just got to be employees. And I think any other way to try to do it is just going to result in more lawsuits and more lawyerings and more stupid meetings where you just kick the can down the road and leave it to somebody else's problem when an athletic director at school X or a Charlie Baker, president of the NCAA, retires. Well, not my problem.
Right. I brought that up with Bo 3.5, 4 years ago when this stuff all started.
Yeah.
The key word always and still is going to be contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the control you want of the situation, meaning the transfer portal, NIL,
all of it,
and every bit of it is contracts. And contracts also mean it's an assurance for a player and the school that they will be there for a season at least. But then also at the end of that, hey, if you're not producing, like right now,
it's a job.
My Tim May show. I've got a conversation I had with Mark Pantoni, the general manager of Ohio State. I'm going to post this afternoon, but the bottom line is, they're already in essence ipso facto contracts in the sense that Jeremiah Smith is going to be making a lot more money than name a third or fourth string wide receiver this year in the revenue sharing aspect of the thing. Forget about NIL, and then also they're the ability to hook people up with NIL situations is going to continue to evolve. We all knew that was going to be the first thing that's from the what do they call it, the NIL Go. You knew they were going to start nixing
the clearinghouse.
Mm-hmm. Well, you knew that was not going to stand. It won't stand when it's challenged legally. I had a guy talking about that on my Tim May show several weeks ago, Jim Cavalli, who's basically been trying to organize college athletes for a while now, and has about 5,000 or 6,000 now, I think, under his aegis. But they need a seat at the table.
Yeah.
The players,
yes,
the student athletes,
absolutely.
They're players really who happen to have to become eligible or stay eligible academically. But they deserve a seat at the table, and the only way you really get one is if you're an employee, and that you can have a ceremonial seat at the table, but when you're an employee, you have a little bit more sway because employees can have, for one of another term, job actions.
Who's to say what Jeremiah Smith's worth? Only what someone's willing to pay him is
correct.
My retort to that. So ESPN reported yesterday President Trump is considering an executive order that would require federal authorities to clarify whether college athletes can be considered employees of their schools. The draft of the order that ESPN obtained calls on the Secretary of Labor and the National Labor Relations Board to determine and implement the appropriate measures with respect to clarifying the status of collegiate athletics. I'm not going to try to explain what all of that means. I'll just give you the gist of it is the president is going to sign an executive order requesting somebody else do something about something. There was reporting from CBS earlier this week that the executive order was going to set national standards for college sports name, image, and likeness. To my earlier point,
guardrails.
Who's to determine what someone's worth in terms of NIL? Only what someone's willing to pay that person. That's how it should be set.
But if you're under contract to somebody, they can tell you what to wear to work.
But they sign that contract.
They can tell you, I don't like that shirt you're wearing today.
Well,
don't wear that.
Silly.
Don't wear that tomorrow. Just right on down the line. So yeah, it has to eventually get to that to rest WREST control for what back, I guess, is what the NCAA would like to have, the schools would like to have. But we'll see where it goes. I mean, we're in such a flux state that anything can happen in terms of down the road. But here's the thing I'm pointing out, that I was going down this road a while ago, and it takes me a while sometimes to get to the exit. There have been attempts to have other pro football leagues that have fallen flat. okay, that college is the next best thing.
Yeah.
Because people go to see college football games. They don't go to see XFL games.
And I think to the point of college athletics,
you've got to have college attached to it, and that has some worth.
College attached, it can be adjacent, but also with the SCORE Act, the Student Compensation Opportunity through Rights and Endorsements, that made its way through, I think, its first subcommittee. Will go through another subcommittee. It will die like so many other bills on the actual floor.
Check the pork.
That's a little bit of what we learned this week. We'll tell you a little bit more of the things that we may have gleaned over the past 5 days coming up next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for $2.99 with your digital coupon. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple of years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab. Just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
It's July in Central Ohio. The grills are hot, the sun is hotter, and chances are you've seen a Newman Roofing truck rolling through your neighborhood. Maybe you've talked to one of our team members at a local event, or know someone who proudly says, yeah, I've got a Newman roof. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a roofing company. We're your neighbors. And for the last 33 years, your support has helped us grow as a family-owned business. So we give back the best way we know how. With quality work, lasting relationships, and a lifetime workmanship warranty that means you'll never be left out in the rain. Thousands of families across Central Ohio have trusted us and had their expectations exceeded. And it's why we've been voted Best Roofing Company and Best of the Bus magazine for 4 years running now. So this summer, don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The 135th British Open rolls along at Royal Portrush. Brian Harman's the leader in the clubhouse at 8 under. Harman followed up Thursday's 69, shooting a 65 this morning. Hao Tong Lee's one off the lead at 7 under. Lee is 3 back through 7 on the day. World number 1 Scotty Scheffler's 5 off the lead. He'll begin his second round in about 10 minutes. In NFL news, the Steelers made T.J. Watt the highest paid non-quarterback in history. Both sides agreed to a 3-year extension yesterday worth $120 million with an average annual value of $41 million. That's $1 million more per year than the deal the Browns gave Myles Garrett. Baseball's regular season resumes tonight. The Guardians return from the break 3 games under 500. They'll host the Athletics at 7:10. As for the Reds, Cincinnati's 2 games above 500, taking on the Mets in New York tonight at 7:10. You can hear Reds baseball and breaking sports news when it happens, all on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
To our credit, Eric Reeser, Tim May have a college basketball player in Jacob Reimer with us. We're with you for the next 2 hours. And then it's the freaking weekend, baby. Get to watch more golf from Royal Portrush this morning, tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. It's great when you do have Sunday morning major golf to wake up to. And just, even if you, like a casual golf fan, Eric, have it on in the background.
See, now you're living my life, because I love it when Formula One's in Europe, doing their races in Europe.
Where are they at this weekend?
Like Spa-Francorchamps. I'm not even sure if they're running this weekend. I mean, you shouldn't have hit me with that. You should have told me in the break you were going to ask me that.
Nope.
I don't think they are. I know
shooting from the hip.
IndyCar's running in Toronto this weekend, but Spa is my favorite race, at Spa. But the point is, you get up at like 7 or 8 or 9 in the morning and you get to watch a Formula One race and then go about your day. So I love this aspect with golf. I also like golf when they're on the West Coast and they're in prime time.
Mm-hmm. To your question about me shooting from the hip, putting you on the spot, the Belgian Grand Prix is
Spa
next weekend.
Spa-Francorchamps.
So, I love a good F1 brunch. I love a good golf brunch. You're waking up in the morning, you might have a drink or two and relax for the rest of the day.
What about a soccer brunch? Do you have a soccer brunch?
I've never been able to get into it.
Yeah, me neither.
That's bad. I support the crew because I remember going to games as a kid at Ohio Stadium, and you grew up with the black and gold. That's my connection. Like World Cup games, you have some interest, but only the soccer that I'll really watch is the crew.
Yeah. Agreed. I occasionally am. You will find me watching a Premier League game occasionally.
It's one of those things I think if
not the whole game, but parts of it.
Not the entire match. If it's on, yeah, sure, maybe if the club's big enough, or if I know who's going on with this.
But I watch Messi highlights. I'll watch Messi highlights for 2 hours on YouTube.
Those are fun. Yeah, when you get some good soccer highlights, either on Twitter or Instagram or on YouTube.
When you take those few moments in a soccer game and
give me the action shots.
Condense them down to the real stuff.
That's kind of the way we are.
You got me, baby.
And similarly for Major League Baseball, I don't know if you watched any of the Home Run Derby or the All-Star Game this week, but the Home Run Derby got 7.5 million viewers.
Yes.
So there's still a little bit of juice with Major League Baseball's Summer Classic.
Yeah, absolutely there is. I mean, that was one of my favorite things to watch when I was a kid growing up. I mean, because Willie Mays always led off for the National League, and he was from Alabama. And my mom loved Willie Mays like you wouldn't believe, and then you'd have those lineups with Willie Mays and Hank Aaron in the same outfield, and right them down the line. I mean, it was compelling to me. Like when Pete Rose took out the Cleveland Indians catcher. Anyway, ruined that kid's career. But
Dirty Pete Rose.
At an All-Star game, this happened, because they really seemed to give a darn about winning the game and stuff. And it's still that way, in my opinion. And I love watching these pitchers come in just because you can't go in and fake pitching.
No.
I mean, it's not like
there's no half-assing that.
It's not like basketball where you can just fake playing defense and stuff. I mean, you can't fake pitching, and pride is on the line. And so when they had what's-his-face mic'd up the other night, the pitcher, and they were talking to him in between pitches, or he was talking back as he was getting ready to throw a pitch, they ought to do that in real games. I think that was fun.
No, and I'd forgotten, and this was part of the 2022 CBA, was if the All-Star game is going to extra innings, they just do a home run derby.
Right.
And I think that's the best way to settle.
Doesn't need to go
an
on
All-Star
all
game.
night.
I even think it's the best way to settle a baseball game. Like a regular season game, just slug it off.
I think there was an All-Star game that went 15 innings one time, way back when.
Reimer was telling me about that. It was, I think, 2008, the All-Star game at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
15 innings, like at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You don't need that. I don't even think you need the ghost runner at second base in extra innings. Just give them metal bats and watch them hit baseballs clear into space.
Yes.
But that was one of the things that I learned this week, that they do the slug-off at the All-Star game. What else did we learn in the last 5 days?
We're not trying to do too much around here, but over the course of 5 days, you might have gleaned some stuff. Bishop and Friends present What We've Learned This Week.
We started the week with some awful news of Quinshawn Judkins and his arrest over the weekend. Charges of domestic violence. He is out right now on bond, still awaiting the legal process, but he hadn't signed his rookie contract with the Cleveland Browns. That still remains the case as he is away from the team. This from Mary Kay Cabot earlier this morning. Browns running back Quinshawn Judkins remains unsigned. He will not report to training camp today with the rest of the rookies. He's focusing more on his legal matter right now, and so are the Cleveland Browns. I think that's the right thing for both parties to do. It's going to be a minimum of 6 games for Quinshawn to miss this upcoming season. We'll have to just see what happens with all of that. But horrible news from a kid with so much potential, especially the opportunity that Quinshawn has, maybe had with the Browns offense this season.
Yeah, but he's got much more serious situation going on. And
I'd agree.
That delayed, what they call it, delayed domestic assault.
Yes.
I mean, the charges, because it happened on one day and then you get arrested 5 days later. Very, a lot of interesting irons in that fire when it comes to figuring out exactly what went on. But, it should never be poo-pooed, that's for sure.
No. We had SEC Media Days this week at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. We'll talk to Paul Finebaum coming up here at 10:30, get his thoughts on a myriad of things that happened this week, that were said this week. We'll also get Anwar Richardson at 11:30. He covers Texas for OrangeBloods.com. He was in Atlanta. He's on his way back to Austin now. Texas is the school in the spotlight today for 20 most interesting college football programs. The Longhorns are going to be in the crosshairs, have probably been in the crosshairs for Buckeye fans since the confetti fell in January for the national championship, because that's the team you're opening the regular season against. So Anwar will join us at 11:30. But the talk for college football playoff expansion has been something we've had throughout the program. And Greg Sankey said that if they couldn't come to a decision before the beginning of the college football season, that he would be fine if things just stayed at 12. So am I, Greg. Just stay at 12.
I think that's where we're always headed, man, with this the kick the can philosophy of NCAA and its member schools. So nothing. I thought 12 was pretty interesting last year.
That was great. I thought the first round games.
I'm not a fan of college football teams getting byes. However, I'm not a fan of that. But because look at Texas. I mean, the jeopardy for Texas and Penn State was they, for example, they would have had to have played 5 extra games, would have had to won 5 or played 5 extra games, including their conference championship games to win the national championship. Texas played an extra, obviously played Ohio State, was his 4th game in the postseason. That's a lot to ask from teams. That's why, eventually down the road, we're going to see maybe conference championship games go away. Maybe not, because that's money you don't have to share with anybody else but your conference.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, let it be 12 for at least a couple of years.
Right.
I mean,
just have
this is such a game changer. Pardon the expression of going to 12. But you could go to 16 in a heartbeat. But like I said, the conference championship games are the things that are in the sort of in the way right now. That are extra furniture in the room that you don't really need, but you kind of do because you do want clarification. Yeah. When you've got an 18-team league, don't you need a champion from that league?
Yes.
Or why not just call it the Big Ten Association and not have necessarily a championship?
Of the things I never thought I would say today, but those damn conference championship games, that's where we are in college football. Tim May, what'd you learn this week? A great many things, I hope.
I learned that, number one, if you're getting a guy to come pound your fence posts, by the way, that's a thing. And this guy's rushing, but he keeps not showing up. Now, I'm not sure there's a correlation there. I'm just saying, pointing out that he's rushing. And I've got these fence posts waiting to be pounded on this fence I'm fixing on my property, about 110 yards worth of fence. It's time to move on down the track, except now I've got all this extra stuff sitting around in my house, fence boards and fence posts, and we're hosting about 45 or 50 people next Sunday after my son's wedding. This is a wedding that's going to go on all week, I think. But that's what I learned is get it in writing, and get the guy on the premises.
Jacob Reimer, what'd you learn this week?
I learned that Wyndham Clark will have to go through anger management classes if he wants to play in the 2033 U.S. Open because of the damages that he did to Oakmont Country Club's locker room. They have banned him from the country club. He can only lift the ban if he pays a nice contribution for a charity they want and goes through anger management classes.
Good.
And because he is a U.S. Open champion, he's exempt to all U.S. Opens. And in 2033, it's back at Oakmont.
Graham McDowell stepped in when he tried to defend what he did. But, he wasn't even there. But
right, it's weird for a guy who wasn't available.
What a baby.
Wasn't in the locker room, but I agree with you. And I'm glad that Oakmont has first put on the ban hammer, but then given him steps to take to remove that ban from him. Because, you can't be acting like a baby at one of golf's biggest events. It doesn't fly.
I made a mistake. Yeah, you made a mistake for like 5 minutes.
It was kind of a long mistake. At any point, you could have not done what you did.
Correct.
And especially in today's day and age where pictures are going to be available almost as soon as you commit the act.
Golf is a 4-letter word, but that's not what they mean by it.
Speaking of 4-letter words, NEAT. We've got a pair of tickets to a bourbon event at the Cherry Valley Hotel in Newark on Saturday, July 26th. Yes, it's neat. A bourbon event where you can explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information and to purchase tickets, go to cherryvalleyhotel.com. But we've got a pair to give away to you right now, 821-9710. The second caller, 821-9710, gets a pair of those passes. Ryan Day joined the football Zoom meeting. You will hear from Ohio State's head coach coming up next. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor The Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Hear that? That's the sound of freedom. This July, declare your independence on the open road during RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale, running July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings on all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations and say hello to adventure. Stop by any of our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at RCD RV. RCD RV. Freedom starts on the open road.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Football in July, outstanding. And it's kicking off at the Pro Football Hall of Fame July 31st in Football Heaven in Canton, Ohio. And you can still grab tickets for the Hall of Fame game between the Lions and the Chargers. And then on August 2nd, 4 of the greatest of all time get immortalized in bronze at the Class of 25 enshrinement. And cap off the weekend Sunday with a concert for legends featuring Nickelback with special guest Mitchell Tenpenny. It's a gold jacket weekend. Visit ProFootballHof.com to learn more and get your tickets.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity sales event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. Strike. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
I love my public school. My teachers are awesome. And everyone who works here makes sure I have what I need to learn and be my best. My classmates and I need your support too. Please stand with the Ohio Education Association to ask for the fully funded public schools every kid deserves.
Ohio's public schools are the heart of our communities. They're safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive.
Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see more isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly to partly cloudy skies with our highs in the mid to low 80s. For tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy skies overnight with lows in the upper 60s. And then for Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorm chances yet again the second half of the day. And warmer with highs getting into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with your 10 weather impact forecast.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Eric Reeser, Tim May, Jacob Reimer, rolling with you on a Friday edition of the program as we approach Big Ten Media Days next week in Las Vegas, the 22nd through the 24th at Mandalay Bay. Commissioner Tony Petitti is going to kick things off on Tuesday. He'll talk at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Then Ohio State's Ryan Day is going to speak at 3:45 Eastern Time in Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. I don't think the Big Ten has an official gambling partner yet.
Yeah.
But maybe that's something that they unveil.
Yeah. I mean, who
Only
knows,
fitting, right?
Who knows what's coming, from Tony Petitti, who you rarely ever get to hear from anyway.
Well, we had to almost put out an APB on him over the summer.
Right.
And then he appeared on Joel Klatt's show.
He
does exist.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut. If things aren't exactly clear in your head where things are going, Well, I just it's the opposite with the Southeastern Conference. They just throw ideas.
Greg Sankey talks into the microphones that aren't even on.
Right.
Like anytime he sees one, like, oh, I would absolutely love to give you some comments. I just didn't think it was great of Petiti to let Ryan Day and, to a lesser extent, Illinois head coach Brett Bielema kind of carry the water for the conference. It's like, you should be out there at least helping.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that's an orchestrated effort either.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
in that
clearly.
regard. But it's come to the table with a real solid idea. Now we'll talk about it and stuff. And we saw when the commissioners plus the Notre Dame athletic director, which I still don't understand, but when they got together,
you
in
always got to
Asheville,
have him.
Yeah, I don't get it. Just when you think college football is losing all touches with tradition, you still got that going on at Notre Dame's special. But I digress. Bottom line is when they came out, and if anything, they muddied the waters more instead of clearing it up. So I'm talking about the meeting a couple of months ago or a month and a half ago in Asheville, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where it goes.
We'll digress a lot more with Paul Finebaum coming up here in about 10 minutes. But Ryan Day was on with Bobby Carpenter. And the show that Bob and Schlegel do, I called the Football Man Zoom meeting. And it's tremendous. Wherever you do, I think it's actually available. Big Play does their stuff on, it was the artist formerly known as Fox Sports, but you can get the Bobby Carpenter show on YouTube. And Ohio State's head coach Ryan Day joined Bob and Schlegs in an earlier edition of the program. And they talked a lot about stuff that is really important to this fan base as it pertains to August 30th against Texas. The first thing, and paramount, is the quarterback situation. How is that battle going as we kind of careen a little over 2 weeks out from training camp?
I would say that there's times where I've gone into this part of the season where I feel like I know or have a feeling on where it's going. I don't right now. I like both of our guys. I think Tavian's still, again, a third right now, and he's got to grow, and I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him. But he needs, this preseason. He needs, the first half of the season to grow. But Julian and Lincoln both have done some really good things here in the offseason. They're getting stronger. Talking to Mick, there's been really good leadership. The ball's coming out of their hand good right now. But we got to go play football. And that's to me, like, obviously the wild card in all of this. When it's 4th and 2, are we going to get, 3 yards? Getting guys into, to play well once we get in the red zone, like making the throws that we need to make in the red area, making decisions on when to throw the ball away, taking care of the football. Maybe taking a sack when, we're not going to force the ball into coverage so that, we might have to punt as hard as that is, play great defense, get the ball back and go score. Like that to me is how you win games, is making great decisions. 3rd down, 2 minute. And so you just don't know until you get on the field and play. I thought there was some really good growth this spring, but we'll see. We'll see where this thing goes. And, like we said, we'll get some really good feedback after the first one.
It's fascinating because you can take his comments and extrapolate them for most of the programs in the top 10 outside of like Texas and Clemson and Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's it is quite the conundrum because everybody just continually wants to write off Lincoln Keynotes. And Lincoln Keynotes is probably as improved a football player at Ohio State over the last 3 years. Is anybody else you could throw up there on the roster? And definitely his passing has improved. He's a leader. You can see he's a leader. He's a hell of an athlete. But man, you watch Julian Sayin just throw the football. The ball comes out of his hands so fast. I mean, he's got that and he's accurate according to the guys who catch most of the passes. So this is quite the conundrum. And what Ryan said there, without saying it, is you really don't have a way to prove these guys. You almost have to go on a hunch. You don't want to put these guys in physical jeopardy any more than you have to in preseason camp. They did a little bit in the spring, but neither one of these guys has played a complete game. Lincoln Keynotes, I'm sure, has erased the Cotton Bowl from his memory of a couple of years ago. So you're going into this opener. You're just going to trust your gut. This is the guy I feel can make plays. He's going to make mistakes no matter who it is. This is the guy that can lead this team, and that's tough because it might be the other guy.
You do trust the main man making the decisions. For both teams, Ohio State and Texas, similar questions. What's this quarterback going to give us?
Right.
How is this quarterback not only going to do the quarterbacking well, but be the leader of this team?
Right. I would say Ryan Day has not made a mistake thus far in picking that player.
I would agree with you.
You know, you can go back to a couple of years ago with Kyle McCord, but just Kyle McCord had that little extra he needed to have at the end of preseason camp, which got him on the field for that opener in Indiana. And then the thing with Kyle, and you can argue this all you want, but at the end of the year, really, they needed just a little more fire from that position. Mm-hmm. And that's why Ryan Day, I'm saying this because I'm just observing it. Who knows why Ryan Day, but that's why they had their little talk at the end of the year. I'm sure that it's got to be more assertive than that.
I don't want to ever relitigate Kyle McCord or Devin Brown. I like that, like the Cotton Bowl. I just want to put in a box and light that box on fire, and we never speak about it again. Because you talk about that fiery leader that Kyle McCord wasn't. Will Howard was.
Yeah.
And so you go from one extreme to the other.
C.J. Stroud was.
You have this unknown with Julian Saint. You think Lincoln's got a little bit of an edge to him?
Justin was like watching Secretariat run.
Wow, it's tough to compare.
And Dwayne Haskins Jr. set all kinds of records when he got his shot in 18 over Joe Burrow. So,
a good problem, I think, to have going into training camp. And again, 2 weeks from today, we will be live at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center putting our eyeballs on all of this. It starts that Thursday, August 30th. We'll be out there for that as well. The Fan, I think, is going to be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, July 30th.
To get everybody putting eyeballs on what this Ohio State product's going to be. And as interested as everybody, of course, is with the quarterback situation, you're replacing 8 starters on defense, and you're bringing in a brand new defensive coordinator in Matt Patricia. Here's Ryan Day to Bobby Carpenter and Anthony Schlegel about his new DC.
I thought long and hard about this offseason and what we need to focus on. And when you come off of a championship, I think
that's not it.
We hired him. I was fired up, but I'm more fired up now because I've seen him talk to the guys, talk to recruits, build relationships, and then they're just taking ownership of this defense. When they go out there, there's just a certain level of confidence when they break that huddle, when they're communicating. They're moving fast. Now we got to get on the field and we got to do it. But I'm really excited about it. And Matt has brought a lot of great experience to the table. Not just the fact that he's a defensive coordinator, he was an offensive coordinator, he was a GM. So now in the new age of what we're doing with the salary cap, he brings in that experience. He's been a head coach, he's been a defensive coordinator at the highest level. He's played long seasons, he's been around great players. And I think one of the best things that he's done over his career is put guys in position to be successful. And he certainly did that at the Patriots. So we have some really good weapons over there, and I'm really fired up to see not only how it looks in the first game, but how it grows as the season goes on.
I'm confident saying this on July 18th, but on August 30th, the quarterback play, in my opinion, is going to be less important than the defense and getting to said quarterback.
You got to score points, though. You got to score points. You got to have a quarterback that doesn't make huge mistakes and put the defense in a lot of jeopardy. But you're exactly right.
We saw at the semifinal.
You're right. The thing you left out, Matt Patricia also can play the trumpet and also loves aviation like I do. So he's got all kinds of things going for him. But I'm very, very eager to watch how things are going to be different with this defense in even more of a matchup kind of situation, because Matt Patricia has been doing that forever. He also has given, as Mark Pantoni says on the Tim May Show that I'm going to post this afternoon, he also helped in the realm of revenue sharing. And how do you chop up a roster, who deserves what for what? And so he's had that experience, obviously, with the Detroit Lions and then, of course, being in the NFL. So he's brought all kinds of things to the table that are interesting to see how they contribute.
A matchup I'm looking forward to is Tim May, Paul Finebaum. 2 minutes, Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Bourbon. Cherry Valley Hotel will be hosting a bourbon event called Neat on Saturday, July 26th from 4 to 9 p.m. Explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, and Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information, visit cherryvalleyhotel.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain. And at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Listen to me. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum, sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
A busy week, to say the least, for our next guest, courtesy the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He's the host of the Paul Finebaum Show on ESPN and the SEC Network. Paul, thank you so much for the time this morning and being flexible this week. I didn't expect Eli Drinkwitz to be singing the playoff expansion song he sung yesterday. What were your thoughts on his proposal, and how was it received by his peers at the College Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah, the problem with, by the time he got to that, he may have lost the room. He did a joke on the Epstein files, which I'm sure Tim May thought was hilarious. And then he wondered about the number of bullets used at Dealey Plaza in November of '63 on the Kennedy assassination. At that point, I was more concerned he was going to be arrested and deported than I was listening to what he had to say about the CFP.
Did the Sankey hook come out and get him? I mean, how'd that work, Paul? Does that work on that stage down there?
Yeah, well, Sankey's right off stage, as you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand Drinkwitz trying to become the new Steve Spurrier, but he failed. Just like I think his proposal for the CFP will fail.
Yeah. I want to ask you this, man, before I move on. I'm looking at this headline. You know how the next guest is coming up, so you quickly Google what's up with that guy, and it says, why Paul Finebaum, comma, SEC Sports Talk provocateur, comma, is embracing his softer side. It's obviously done by the athletic Joe Rexrode, but it has the New York Times moniker on the top of it, man, and have you hit the big time finally, Paul, in that regard? A biography, for want of another term, written about you in the New York Times?
Well, Tim, you know I don't like to go political, but that's why the president calls it the failing New York Times. That, they are trying to now save their empire on writing about some aging, washed-up sportscaster in Alabama. But the point, this guy followed me for a couple of days. I didn't know anybody did that anymore. Real reporting, real journalism. I know that's something you let go of the day Woody Hayes was fired.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no more stories that need to be told. That's what's interesting, Paul, is just when you think you've seen it all, now we're seeing the NCAA, SEC, Big Ten grapple with the new age. And I don't know, has anything become clear to you about where this is all headed that you didn't know 2 months ago? If you follow my drift, I mean, we don't even know if it's going to be a move to a 16-team playoff next year or, which model they're going to use and stuff. I mean, do you think this is becoming confusing for the fan? I mean, how would you explain it to people?
Yeah, let me give fans some insight. Late yesterday on our show in Atlanta, we spent about 40 minutes with Greg Sankey, he, along with Tony Petitti of the Big Ten, are the two most important people in the game. And Sankey was quite honest in terms of not really knowing what's next. Now, of course, he knows all the options and he knows all the variables, but every day, like yesterday, you wake up and there's a report out of the White House that the president's going to get involved in college athletics. You don't really know how to react to that. Right. You don't want to tip over that anthill. And then you're dealing with everything else. One thing that Greg Sankey did say that I thought was important, he made it clear to our audience and really the whole college football world that there is no rift with Tony Petitti. He said, in fact, he had talked to him that morning. He had talked to him 4 or 5 times over the last few days. They have different opinions. We all know that. It's all because of the 8-9 debate with the SEC schedule. But I still believe that that brotherhood is alive and well. And, Tim, that's important because when you have the power of those two leagues, like them or not, you're going to be able to get things done where you can't get things done when you walk in there and have to listen to the ranting and raving of the Big 12 commissioner or the ACC or the Mountain 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever they're called today.
Paul Finebaum, our guest. Paul, in 2026, are we getting a 9-game SEC schedule?
I do not believe so. And that's all you can give as a best guess. I think it looks like we're heading toward another year of 8, and right now it's all contingent on the CFP. But guess what? The two are interconnected, and the real problem in the SEC is Oklahoma and Texas because they have moved a number of other schools like Mississippi State and Kentucky down another notch or two. Right. It makes it more problematic if you're fighting for a 500 record so you can go to the Music City Bowl, suddenly getting tagged with another conference loss that leaves you home. I know that doesn't mean much to fans of Georgia or Ohio State or Texas, but if you're one of those schools, you live off of going to a bowl game, using it for promotion, and a lot of those. And by the way, it's not only the bottom feeders. The middle of the pack doesn't want it either, because it's a conference loss last year cost Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina a bid to the CFP. That's how big these things can be. And when you're not at the top, you're kind of somewhere. But there's a big difference between in the SEC the 5th team and the 10th team. There's not a big difference. It's basically one game. Where in the Big Ten, it's very top-heavy, as you guys know.
Yeah, but the Big Ten has won the last 2 national championships, as you well know, and right on down the line. I wanted to ask you this, though, Paul. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. Are we getting to the point, the SEC and the Big Ten, do you think they're too big to fail? Or do you think, like you just pointed out, I was literally going to go this direction with you, do you think you might see a smaller Big Ten 10 years from now than you see now, if you follow me there? I mean, I know there's a lot of money involved, but when you're on the bottom half of that rung in the SEC or the Big Ten, it may be one game, but it may as well be 10,000 miles in some respects. I mean, how long do you think this will go with these there already are super conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC. Do you think it has staying power?
Yes. I don't think there's any way you go backwards because there's so much money baked into the cake, Tim.
Yeah.
And there's value on these games. And that's really been the conversation in the SEC. To go to 9 games, the programs want to get paid for it because that's money that ESPN, those are games ESPN benefits from. So, while I think most of us would like to see both leagues shrink and have more competition, there's some terrible games in both leagues. I know SEC fans, and please don't quote me, Tim. Act like every game matters, okay? Yeah. But when you wake up in the Midwest and you got the 11 o'clock Missouri at Vanderbilt game, I'm not sure there's too many tailgate parties.
Exactly.
Paul, let me see if I can properly connect this red yarn on my corkboard behind me. Lane Kiffin told Greg McElroy that Nick Saban should be back in coaching. So Greg McElroy took that as someone with knowledge of the situation has Nick Saban coming back to coaching. And someone else took that as Jerry Jones is going to hire Nick Saban after Brian Schottenheimer.
let me make it really simple. and I know I don't try to include myself in anything I don't really want to be part of.
Yeah.
But this is what happened. Monday morning, just like I do here, I have a regular 8:15 Eastern Time hit on WJOX with McElroy. I showed up at their set, and Greg said, I heard from a friend, a notable whatever, from Nick Saban, that he might be getting back into coaching. What do you think? I said, there's no chance. I completely shot it down. But here's what happened, as you guys know what I'm about to say. Some blogger overheard it and put it out there. And by the end of the week, it got so ridiculous that the guy who denied it, which was me, was on First Take on ESPN, and they were asking me about it. And I said, I don't think he's coming back to college. Well, what about Nick Saban at the Miami Dolphins? And the next thing you know, the headlines are Saban going to the Miami Dolphins. First thing he's going to do is cut Tua Tagovailoa, the player who won him a national championship. Yeah. I had people coming up to me, interviewing me like they didn't know what had happened. And they were saying, what do you think about it? And you can't explain the story. You don't have the time like we do here. Now, Lane Kiffin went up to the podium after that story hit, and he just poured gasoline on the fire, just like Kirby Smart. And Kalen DeBoer was so confused about how it started. I think he was thinking that Saban may be coming back to Alabama. So he gave an answer to, he's earned the right to come back. Like, I don't want to get in the middle of this. Yeah. At the end of the day, the story is absolutely bogus, but that hasn't stopped it from being the biggest story at SEC Media Days.
I know. That's why, everybody kept asking me, with Urban Meyer a couple of years ago, and I was doing that Urban's Take with him. But, he had no interest in getting back into college football coaching because of a lot of the changes that have gone on and all kinds of things. And he's really enjoying himself. His Saturdays are like your Saturdays. He does a little shtick and then moves on with his life. But, hey, what quick...
Hold on a second, Tom.
Okay. I knew that.
This is a guy who has walked away from football about 3 times to spend more time with his family. So let's not act like that. I still believe Urban Meyer's coming back, and I know somebody who knows somebody who once did Urban Meyer's painting of his garage, who claims he's going to be back at Ohio State when Ryan Day goes to the NFL next year.
But here's the question, the key question: what color did he paint his garage? That's what I'd like to know. It
was, and by the way, I am not starting up here on the home of the Buckeyes. But I know this sounds ridiculous, but I was talking to some people yesterday in Atlanta about coaches that could be going to the NFL, and
of course
there is a school of thought that there are 2 coaches in college football right now that the NFL agents and people really do believe are perfect fits, and you know where I'm going.
Yeah,
Marcus Freeman and Ryan Day.
Yeah, it's interesting because then a lot of people think if Ryan Day leaves, Marcus Freeman comes back to his alma mater, Ohio State, and becomes the head. You know what I mean? That rabbit hole is.
They're connected, but yeah. I really and I know people think I don't like Ryan Day. I don't have a problem with Ryan Day. I just don't like any Ohio State coach. But I do think he does fit the NFL model.
Yeah, he's smart. That's for sure.
And it's something that's only going to be talked about forever. So, Paul, we appreciate you being flexible and giving us some of your time this morning. Enjoy the weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
See you guys. Thanks.
And he comes to us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. So if you were popping in and out of this segment, I think you heard Paul Finebaum say Ryan Day is going to the NFL, and Tim May jumped in and said Marcus Freeman's coming to Ohio State once Ryan Day goes to the NFL. Do I have all of that red yarn connected properly?
No.
We'll do Thing or Not a Thing next. Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Save a good deal more during the Meijer Super Sale going on this Friday and Saturday only. Shop low prices on favorites like $3.99 each for large whole seedless watermelons. Select varieties of Capri Sun 30-count pouches are $6.49. Pepperidge Farm Goldfish multi-pack is $3.99. And Lysol disinfecting wipes and sprays are 40% off. Shop low Meijer prices while supplies last this Friday and Saturday only. Saving more on family favorites at Meijer. Now that's the good life. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark your calendars for Diamond Seller's Wedding Weekend, July 25th and 26th. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. Wedding Weekend is back with incredible offers you won't want to miss. Enjoy buy one, get one half off wedding bands, 20% off diamond anniversary bands, and 10% off handcrafted custom bridal. We've had the guaranteed best price and an unmatched selection for over 78 years. Choose a jeweler you can trust and come see us July 25th and 26th at Diamond Seller on Salma Road or at Easton Town Center.
The sun is out and the savings are on at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Take up to $7,000 off MSRP on any new Kia EV in stock, or get up to $3,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 60 months. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 per 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 7/31/25.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina. Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, you know that complete HVAC system we sell for $12,000?
Yeah, it's for homes that are 1,600 square feet or less.
How big is 1,600 square feet?
3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Those homes are what America is made of.
Get Eco.
ECO. Other companies are charging $15,000 to $18,000 for that same system.
Yeah, I know.
And if your family doesn't need a new furnace, Eco will replace the AC component for just $8,500. Why are we doing this?
Nurses, police officers, office workers, firefighters, and school teachers live in those houses, Jerry.
The people that America is made of live in the houses that America is made of.
We're just doing what we can to restore balance to the universe, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. When a person is doing well, they're making money. But when they're doing good, they're helping others.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
We're bringing balance to the universe.
Go to geteco.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Before we do the segment that's scheduled here, just want to remind you, Saturday, July 19th, yes, that's tomorrow at 4 o'clock, the Cardale Jones charity softball game. We need your help to fight cancer. The Logan Services Fan Golf Classic silent auction is open now through Monday, and it's packed with incredible items. Ohio State football tickets and memorabilia, golf foursomes, a behind-the-scenes tour of the Memorial Tournament, and so much more. You can place bids now at 971thefan.com. Every single dollar goes towards the fight against cancer, benefiting our friends at the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Let's team up and let's make a difference. Again, also our friends at the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer and the James at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. We're putting on the Cardale Jones charity softball game. Tickets still available, 971thefan.com for that information. Saturday, Huntington Park at 4 p.m.
Thing or not a thing?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Tim May, are you a fair guy? A state fair or a county fair?
I'm a fair to Midland guy. No, I don't. No. I would not call myself that. I come up with excuses. I've always come up with excuses of not going with my wife or family to the fair. Occasionally, I have made it. Went to concerts way back when, the state fair at the Ohio State Fair. Enjoyed that aspect of it, but I do not ride fair rides. I learned that lesson a long time ago when the Zipper came to town in Lufkin, Texas, and one of the cars almost fell off of it. You don't get on. I don't get on rides that are taken apart and put back together every 4 or 5 days or weeks. So I guess I would say no, but I do like the livestock aspect.
Yeah.
Of the fairs.
On that note, the Ohio State Fair begins next Wednesday. Earlier this week, the Ohio Poultry Association released a new slate of deviled egg flavors that will be available for sale at the Taste of Ohio Pavilion during this year's state fair. I think it runs through August 3rd. Options like cotton candy and espresso debuted last year. The featured deviled egg flavor in 2025, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Not a fan of that, but I do love deviled eggs.
Additional flavors this year, hot honey everything, sweet heat paired with bold and crunchy everything bagel seasoning, sriracha peach, zesty spice paired with sweet juicy peaches, Columbus pizza, a savory marinara-filled topping with crispy edged pepperonis and Parmesan cheese, an ode to tried and true Columbus pizza favorites.
I would try the sriracha peach flavor.
I would try the Columbus
I think that
pizza.
Would be excellent.
Yeah. I do like a sweet heat. The sweet heat's really good.
Yeah.
Spicy, crunchy flaming, hot, creamy filling garnished with crunchy corn chips, and cranberry feta, creamy and rich feta cheese matched with juicy tart cranberries.
Wow.
Thing or not a thing?
Not a thing. not a thing for me. I like my deviled eggs to have some kind of relationship with deviled eggs that I grew up eating.
It's like Jurassic Park. You just tried and tried and tried, and you didn't stop to ask should.
Good deviled eggs are really good, though, man. I'm telling you.
The only thing of this that I would go for is the Columbus pizza. So that's it. That's it for me.
You could convince me to try it.
Yeah.
I could try it. I could try it.
Speaking with ESPN, Duke commit and the 2025 National Gatorade Player of the Year, Cameron Boozer, says this year's Blue Devil squad will play with a chip on its shoulder. Quote, I think we have a special group. I think we're very overlooked right now, but once the season starts, that'll change for sure. I think just playing together, playing hard, defending, competing, we're going to be in a spot to get to the Final Four just like they did last year, end quote. Duke could enter the 25-26 season ranked outside the top 10 in the AP preseason poll for the first time since 2008 when the team started at 13. Thing or not a thing?
I think you need to ask Reimer. Is that a thing or not a thing?
That's exactly why I put this in there.
I think he's Carolina blue underwear and socks. And
everything he has is Carolina blue.
Yeah, I think he actually has in his glasses, he has like an HUD, a heads-up display where he sees Carolina. We can't see it, but he can see it all the time.
No, this is a dumb thing. They're going to be in the top 10. They have a strong class coming in. And, I mean, they're going to be the preseason favorites in the ACC. That's being overlooked. Are you kidding me? It's Duke. You're never going to be overlooked.
I think it's a thing. If there's even any indication it could be overlooked, that's a thing.
Yes. Has anybody overlooked Duke ever? It's Duke.
Now, they will have to.
You're going to talk about plucky Duke making the postseason.
It's going to be tough to replace Cooper Flagg. Somebody is going to have to. Somebody's going to have to present themselves as a star. That's for sure. Everyone likes to think it's going to be Boozer. But, I mean, Isaiah Evans is coming back. Everyone likes him as a breakout guy. So, I don't know. It's a dumb thing for me because they're going to be a top 10 team all year long, most likely. They're going to be the preseason favorites in the ACC. They are doing something in the non-conference they've never done before, and that is actually playing, good opponents. They have a loaded non-conference schedule. It's always typically a cupcake non-conference, but they've got a loaded one.
Just their lowest preseason ranking in a decade was 13.
Wow, it's
tough. It's tough out there for the Duke Blue Devils.
Krzyzewski's a tough act to follow, man.
Well, so there's truth to that. Just real quick, Shams Charania reported Thursday, 9-time All-Star Damian Lillard's agreed to return to the Portland Trailblazers on a 3-year, $42 million deal. The thing about it is Lillard tore his Achilles in April. He had it surgically repaired in May. He's 35. He'll be 36 when he comes around in the 26-27 season. Thing or not a thing?
It's a thing because it's monopoly money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about this the other day. I mean, everybody makes a big deal about what college football coaches are making right now, the upper echelon, like Ryan Day, like $11, $12 million a year. That pales in comparison to this contract. And, I mean, a guy who may not even play for you, right down the line. And so, yeah, it's just funny how money gets thrown around and stuff. The money part of it is interesting to me only because they are gambling that he's going to be able to contribute in some form or fashion. So it is a thing.
It's a cool thing to see.
It's a crazy thing
to see him go back to Portland where he started and spent so much time. And I think they seem to like their young core and to bring Dame in to have some experience. And they have Drew Holiday now too, who was originally in the deal that sent Dame to Milwaukee, which is crazy that they're now actually on the same team. But no, it's a cool thing to see him back in Portland.
All right. Our 20 most interesting programs has us talking about Texas. Coming up next, it's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Common Man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Did you know dropping your first 25 pounds with a Awaken 180 adds 6 to 8 yards to every shot? Even better scores every 5 pounds after that. Look it up. Freedom from excess fat is measurable. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Hear that? That's the sound of freedom. This July, declare your independence on the open road during RCD RV's Declare Your Independence sale, running July 5th through the 19th, offering all-American savings on all in-stock motorhomes, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Wave goodbye to ordinary vacations and say hello to adventure. Stop by any of our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com. Celebrate the red, white, and blue with unbeatable savings at RCD RV. RCD RV. Freedom starts on the open road.
Friday, July 25th is Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair. Visit the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Department of Insurance, and other state agency booths. Come learn about mental health resources available to you and to your family. Join us on Friday, July 25th for Recovery Ohio's Mental Health Day at the Ohio State Fair.
At Delta Dental of Ohio, we understand oral and vision health is connected to overall well-being. With Delta Dental and Delta Vision, you get affordable, comprehensive coverage from a name you know and trust. Our plans are designed to keep your teeth strong and vision clear, so you can confidently smile at life. 2 great plans, 1 name you can trust. Learn more at deltadentaloh.com.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota of Columbus. Summer is the perfect time to gear up in a new truck from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, drive home the 2025 Toyota Tundra with 1.99 APR for 72 months, or take command of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, also just 1.99 APR for 72 months. Get power, performance, and unbeatable savings, all at Germain Toyota, located at 5711 Scarborough Boulevard on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Shop online anytime at germaintoyota.net.
Bourbon. Cherry Valley Hotel will be hosting a bourbon event called Neat on Saturday, July 26th from 4 to 9 p.m. Explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, and Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information, visit cherryvalleyhotel.com.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The afternoon wave is out as the second round of the British Open continues from Royal Portrush. Brian Harman entered the clubhouse with the lead at 8 under. Harman now shares the lead with Hao Tong Lee. Lee's 4 under through 10 on the day. Matt Fitzpatrick's 2 off the lead at 6 under. Rory McIlroy shot a 2 under earlier and is 3 under heading into the weekend. Defending champ Xander Schauffele's at even par. The projected cut line 1 over. Baseball's regular season resumes tonight. The Guardians are back from the break, 3 games under 500. They'll host the Athletics at 7:10. As for the Reds, Cincinnati's 3 games above 500. They'll begin a series in New York tonight against the Mets. First pitch there, also 7:10. You can hear that game on The Fan following the Buckeye Show. This update sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Final hour of the week. Eric Reeser, the venerable Tim May, and Jacob Reimer with you until noon. And Rothman and Ice will carry things. Common Man and Timmy, the Buckeye Show. And like the well-coiffed update anchor said, you get some Reds baseball as the second half, not technically half, but the second part of the season resumes. Redlegs, again, 3 games up over 500. You got good momentum going into the second part of your season. Can't really say the same for the Guardians.
Play ball.
They'll get to, again, both squads going tonight at 7:10 in their respective contests. We've got 2 more schools after today in the Southeastern Conference to cover in our 20 Most Interesting Program series. We'll do South Carolina on Monday, and then the Oklahoma Sooners next Tuesday. And then it's all Big Ten, baby, as the conference will head out to Las Vegas for Media Days starting on Tuesday. ACC is also going to do their Media Days on Tuesday, but a traditionally ACC place at the Hilton Charlotte Uptown in Charlotte, North Carolina. But today, the most interesting program, if we're doing it rankings-wise, I would put, I think, the Texas Longhorns at 2 in terms of my interest. And we'll discuss a little bit here in the next hour of the program.
There are millions of college football teams around the world, but only a handful of them made our cut. Bishop and Friends present the 20 most interesting college football programs.
And probably one of, if not the most interesting player in the college football season, that's the 2025 one, is Arch Manning. He will quarterback a Texas Longhorn squad under Steve Sarkisian, who's entering his 5th season in Austin. Sarks 38-17 overall, 24-11 in conference play. That includes games in the Big 12 and in the SEC. The Longhorns last year 13-3 overall, 7-1 in the conference. They lost to Georgia in overtime in the SEC championship. And then, as we all know, Jack Sawyer handed the Longhorns a 28-14 defeat in the CFP Cotton Bowl semifinal. You're only going to go so far, Tim May, as Arch Manning will carry you this season.
No, not necessarily. They lost 12. I mean, this is the interesting thing is a lot of people have talked about Ohio State and Texas over the last many months. Like Texas is loaded and Ohio State's reloading, and Texas lost 12 people.
They did?
Record for the school, 12 players to the National Football League draft, and then a few more that are free agent signees. They're reloading as much as Ohio State is reloading, and including at quarterback. They've got a guy that started a couple of games for them in Arch Manning, but like we pointed out a while ago, it was against Mississippi State, and still trying to remember.
Directional Texas?
Yeah. And but the bottom line is they've only got one offensive lineman back from that offensive line. In the final analysis, couldn't block Ohio State.
No.
At the end there, especially the goal line stand, unbelievable. Because there were more plays in that goal line stand than just Jack Sawyer's coup d'etat, is what I would call it. Because boy, he took over.
He did.
But he made a play on third down where he looped around and deflected that pass, on the third down play. So and we all know what Caleb Downs did on the second down play. So right on down the line, I mean, Caden McDonald's in the midst of all that. My point is both of these teams are reloading, and I keep going back to this. I would much rather see this game at the end of October than at the end of August, because I think both of these teams will be hitting their stride by then. Their quarterbacks will be settled in. Who the quarterback will be for Ohio State has still not been named. Texas has left no mystery that the Arch Manning era has begun at Texas. So a lot of these two teams are going to be so much better, so much aware of what they are all about by the end of October than they are on August 30th. But, like I said, Texas only got one offensive line starter back. Believe me, Matt Patricia and company are eyeballing that big time.
So the games for Manning last season, UTSA, Texas at San Antonio, UL Monroe, and then Mississippi State, like you had mentioned.
Yes.
What's coming on August 30th, is a beast of a completely different form. You're going to play the defending national champions. You're going to Columbus to play the defending national champions in week 1 of the season.
In the heat of the day.
And as hot as you're going to see, play, coach, cover a football game this season.
No, I don't know, man. They play in Austin, and it gets really hot in Austin.
I would put what could be an August 30th right up there with it.
Yeah.
August 30th in Columbus, Ohio.
But it could be a day like today. Could be a day like today. Mid-70s, overcast.
I'm just so used to it being, if you're in C-Deck, cover yourselves in either sunscreen or wear whatever Jason Day is wearing on the course.
Yes.
Because that'll give you ample coverage to not get sunburn.
Yes. But no, it promises to be an eye-opening game for both head coaches, I do believe, and their staffs, because you're going to be throwing new guys out there. I wasn't really taking a shot at Texas. I was making just a factual statement.
It was a good point.
They've lost 4 starters off their offensive line.
Yes.
Well, Ohio State lost all 4 starters from its defensive line, went to the National Football League draft. So a lot of these unknowns, and then you've got key players. I mean, this is where your Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith really have to step up and be leaders as much as players. And they both have that in their regard. And we all know Texas figured out a way to make at least Ohio State believe Jeremiah Smith was not going to be a factor tonight, which was in that semifinal game. But other guys stepped up for Ohio State, obviously, not the least of whom was Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins and Jack Sawyer and that defense. So, it's going to be a curious opener.
The Longhorns lose the Thorpe Award winner from last season, Malik Muhammad, the leader for that defensive back. The Longhorns do have defensive end Colin Simmons, who won that vaunted Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year award. And Tim May, I learned something last year, that there was such a thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you learn all kinds of things, like the Moore Offensive Line Award, which went to Alabama, 8 years in a row or something. You learn. Here's the thing. We both know, you and I both know, these rosters are talented.
Loaded with talent, yes. Every position, yes.
With talent. And that's why despite replacing your starting quarterback from a year ago, and in Ohio State's case, 14 players who went to the NFL draft, Texas 12, both of these programs are held in very high regard because recruiting does matter.
And that's why I think, like the Buckeyes, the Longhorns didn't do too much portaling. I think when we talk about their NIL grade, it'll be more on did they retain the roster that matters for the 2025 season. They got a tight end from California, a tight end from Stanford. Hero Kanu, defensive tackle from Ohio State, goes to Texas, but he's part of a gigantic list of big men that Texas is going to have up front. So
still baffled by that move, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
They are one of the teams like Ohio State that has done so well recruiting and retaining. The transfer portal is just in pieces of need. Like for Ohio State getting Bo Atkinson, that was a piece you thought you think you will need, and you like the production that he gives you out of North Carolina. But for the Longhorns, talked about, and we will continue to talk about up until August 31st. Yeah, and even way past that, the game against the Buckeyes on 8:30.
And we all saw the story earlier in the summer about them possibly spending upwards of $29 to $31 million on their roster.
Sure.
In one form or fashion. Kind of pales at 21 million from last year. Ohio State kind of pales, but
every year the number is going to go exponentially up.
I'm under the belief that several teams last year spent more than that. They just didn't get publicized like Ohio State's did.
Well, I think Desmond Howard did the disservice.
Yeah,
the
cackler did a lot.
Every week on College Game Day, you heard that, but it had been reported by actual journalists that Texas and Oregon had spent more than Ohio State's roster. I don't have a problem with doing this. I think if you're spending that kind of money, you should be screaming it from the rooftops. Do what Texas Tech is doing, because I think it tells recruits all over the country, we're a serious operation.
We'll see what Portnoy screams, on the Fox Big Noon set. We'll see what he screams about it.
I am as uninterested in an addition to a college football show as I've ever been. I will not watch if he's on.
He may be very entertaining. You never know, man.
He might be, and I know I'm in the minority with it. I'll see whatever clips that go viral later that day.
Even Urban has come to the conclusion that yes, being entertaining is part of the deal. Not just spouting facts or opinions and stuff. And
I should have done. This is a horrible job out of me.
Took him a little bit of a while because he wanted to be just like he told me one time. He wanted to be Paul Finebaum. That's not his thing in life. But when Urban Meyer, a guy that's won 3 national championships, has an opinion on something, you should listen.
Absolutely, and he's done a tremendous job in breaking down football. But I think he is even leaned more into being the television personality.
Yes.
You've spoken with Urban a lot. Do you think that there will be a fun back and forth between him and Dave Portnoy that'll make it interesting television for Buckeye fans? He's 7-0 against them.
I'm saying this in a nice way. I think Urban might be looking up who is David Portnoy right now.
Yeah.
Seriously, because when he's, when he doesn't want to know about, when he doesn't care about something, he doesn't care about it.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm sure they will be ingrained. We'll see if he becomes part of that triple option. Podcast now becomes a quadruple option down the road. Maybe simulcast on wherever it's broadcast
Barstool
now
Sports,
and
FS1, Fox Sports 2.
Yeah,
I think they have like Tubi and Fubo.
But
and
that'll be
Pluto.
an interesting. I mean, it'll probably take a little bit of getting used to, especially how it's outspoken a supporter of Michigan. David Portnoy is. He was a big character in the Connor Stallions documentary, if that's what you want to call what that was.
That was fiction.
He told me, blah, blah, blah. So, it's going to be an interesting mix, that's for sure.
You said it right there, characters. And that you're going to take some chemistry to get used to those characters. But we have options for you on The Fan. There's the Fan's Tailgate Show, the Fan's Pregame Show, available on YouTube and 10 TV Plus. If you're not interested in cackling Michigan men on ESPN and Fox, we have got you covered right here. We will cover the categories for the Texas Longhorns coming up next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
Get cash for clunkers during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HRV two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Now's a great time to save on cherries. Fresh picked red cherries are on sale for only $2.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
I love my public school. My teachers are awesome. And everyone who works here makes sure I have what I need to learn and be my best. My classmates and I need your support too. Please stand with the Ohio Education Association to ask for the fully funded public schools every kid deserves.
Ohio's public schools are the heart of our communities. They're safe, welcoming learning environments where everyone can thrive.
Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see more isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly to partly cloudy skies with our highs in the mid to low 80s. For tonight, we'll see mostly cloudy skies overnight with lows in the upper 60s. And then for Saturday, scattered shower and thunderstorm chances yet again the second half of the day. And warmer with highs getting into the upper 80s. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with your 10 weather impact forecast.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. We'll get Anwar Richardson on in about 10 minutes. He covers the Texas Longhorns for orangebloods.com. Also, in about 20 minutes, I will have another pair of tickets to give away to NEAT, a bourbon event at the Cherry Valley Hotel in Newark, Saturday, July 26th. So, of course, you'll be listening, but maybe you'll get a reward for all the listening that you do. Now, we will do the categories on the Texas Longhorns. And I got to make sure, yesterday when I played the fight song for the team that we did yesterday, which the name is escaping me, I had the volume way up, and so just crushed our headphones with whomever it was. So maybe Texas Fight will be a little less than that. There it is. Could you... Does this have words to it?
Yeah, fight, Texas fight, come on, you Longhorns fight.
You got to do it in the microphone, Tim.
Fight, Texas fight, come on, you Longhorns fight. I'm not going to sing the whole thing.
All right.
I will sing the Texas A&M fight song, though. Hullabaloo, connect.
I don't have that. Next time you're on, we'll get it for you.
If a Texas fan is listening right now, as I'm singing the Texas A&M fight song to their song, it would be
That's a hell
interesting.
of a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you saw what Steve Sarkisian got introduced at SEC Media Days to Texas A&M's fight song.
Yes.
And they thought, would they give Mike Elko the same treatment?
Yes.
And no, in fact, he came out to the Aggies. Was Aggie Warham?
Dude, that is a rivalry. It's too bad it went away for a while because those two schools hate each other, and it's more of Texas has always been the blue blood, and Texas A&M has been the nouveau riche, for one of another way of putting it. And Texas A&M has never reached quite the heights of Texas, but they aspire.
NIL portal grade, Tim. What would you give the Longhorns?
I'd give them an A because I thought they hit. The points after, just like with Ohio State. Go out and get the stuff you need. Don't just go hog wild because there's a transfer portal of bringing in new guys and getting rid of the old guys. But it also is indicative of the roster you have on hand that you're dealing with, that you can be picky like that and go out and just fill a couple of needs. I mean, I don't think anybody's done a better job portal-wise than Ohio State has the last many years.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. What's your grade?
I'm going to give him an A because that snitch Kirk Cignetti said $40 million for the Texas roster. Yeah, a lot of that's retention.
Yeah.
And for those schools that he snitched about, you got to retain what you have.
Yeah. Don't be jealous. Just go out and do your thing.
If you want to be a poverty program, fine. You're just not going to be competing for national championships. And so for Texas, they did what they needed to do to keep the guys that they have this season. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, it's an A for me. From what they retained, they have the 6th ranked freshman class coming in as well, but it's mostly on what they brought back to where they can be a national championship contender.
Would Buddy Garrity want to run their collective grade, Tim?
I would think Buddy Garrity has dreamed.
That's the
since he was a child, since he read the book Meat on the Hoof, way back when, which I is, you're required to read, and if you grew up in Texas, right on down. Let's just basically talking about how Texas built rosters back then. And it was like a fictional account, but it was like very interesting because all the major schools were doing it then about hoarding players so other teams couldn't have players. But yeah, Buddy Garrity would love it. I would think that's his
the dream.
The dream.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely would.
Yeah, it's an A+++++. Do they wear the right uniforms grade?
Ohio State, Alabama, USC, Texas have as iconic uniforms, if they just stick to those uniforms, as iconic a uniform look as there is in college football. So I love their uniforms. I've always liked their uniforms. I like the little Longhorn. Didn't always have that on there, but as long as you've been aware of them, they have. And yes, I very much like their clean. It's a very clean look.
Yeah, like Tim was mentioning, it's iconic. It's when you see Texas football, you see that burnt orange. It's an iconic look in college football, and I think the burnt orange is a very nice color.
And you know how you can tell a uniform is cool is their white uniforms, their road unis. Mm-hmm. Ohio State, Alabama, and Texas have great road that clean when they're just that clean look with white jerseys and maybe gray pants for Ohio State or right on down a little bit, but it's who it is on the road even when they show up.
Campus social life grade for the Longhorns in Austin.
Austin City Limits is right there. Austin has exploded, not grown. It has exploded over the last 15 years. But anything you need to see, do, or say, you can walk into a bar there on 6th Street, I think is the famous thoroughfare. I was there back in 2005 and did doing stories when Ohio State and Texas played for the first time ever. Are you kidding me? The old Driscoll Hotel is right up the street there. But you can go into a couple of those bars. You may look to your left and you may see Matthew McConaughey sitting there. just enjoying the movement, enjoying the vibe, and all kinds of. You might see Elon Musk over on the other side. I mean, it's like
that'd be a party.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a very cosmopolitan mixed look.
I've never been to Austin, but I mean, it's Texas. You got the football there for Texas. It looks like they got a great party scene. I'll give it an A.
Plus, their state capitol is bigger than the United States Capitol building. You can't miss it.
Which player off their team right now would we want in scarlet and gray? You can say none.
Yeah. No. I mean, I like DJ Campbell, the guy we brought up a while ago.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I think you can always use more offensive linemen. That's who I picked the other day when I was doing, I've got who we were doing. P.J. Williams, I really like. I like a really good offensive lineman. Will never hurt you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think linebacker Anthony Hill is a guy that's being mocked as a first-round, early second-round pick. I think having just that depth would be it's a depth for a lot of these teams for Ohio State because of the job they've done recruiting. What about you, Jacob?
I will go with Colin Simons. He's arguably the best defensive edge coming back in college football as a sophomore. He would just give an extra piece to the defensive line that is being reshaped after what Ohio State lost last season. I'd go with him.
True, but boy, I'm so eager to, for example, see Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson.
You and everyone else.
No, just finally go out there and do it. Now, there are other guys that are, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't want somebody else getting in the way of maybe finally seeing these guys. Are they what we always thought they were? Kenyatta Jackson had some big plays last year. So did Caden Curry. But, I don't want anybody getting in the way of that.
For Texas, all-time biggest man on campus.
In my opinion, Earl Campbell.
It's a good one.
Because Earl Campbell, Texas,
it's a really good one.
Texas was just like Alabama and a lot of the other southern schools were not taking African American players. And Earl Campbell played against my high school in way back in the day against Lufkin when he was at John Tyler High School. But Earl Campbell, when they finally. Stupid Darrell Royal took him, I say stupid, as in this decision, and made him the fullback in the wishbone. What a waste. And then finally, what's his face? I'm drawing a blank of who took over and dotted the I with Earl Campbell. And what did Earl Campbell do? He won the Heisman Trophy. I mean, but Earl Campbell is still a big man on campus down there, even though he's obviously physically impaired in a lot of ways. Earl Campbell, final answer.
I will go with one Vince Young. I think that guy.
He was, to me, I've not been more entertained by watching someone play college football.
Agreed.
Vince Young, bro. I mean that.
Cam Newton was pretty damn entertaining.
He was great, but there was just. I think this is more of my. And maybe Jacob, you're with me. And like my formative years, those Vince Young Texas teams were so much damn fun to watch, and he was so good at that quarter at every. There was nothing he wasn't good at.
When Alabama
he got to the NFL and he wasn't.
When Alabama with Jalen Milroe finally went to the Vince Young offense, is what I call it. Mm-hmm. One read and run.
That's it.
They were a different team, and then they tried to get smart again, and it blew up on them. But Vince Young, one read and run. How do you stop that?
What's the ceiling for this Texas Longhorns team? Can they win it all, make the playoff, get in the conference championship game, be respectable, or are they chumps?
I think they can win it all. I'm not saying they're going to win it all, but they have the wherewithal to win it all. Yep. And I see Ohio State and Texas playing twice this year. That's what I see in my crystal ball.
Yeah, this is no doubt a national championship team.
It'd be funny if it's the first game of the year
and the last game
of the year.
Those are going to be two different teams.
Absolutely.
What you see on August 30th isn't even going to be the same Ohio State or Texas team you see on September 30th. And that's what's really exciting about this college football season, among different things. Chris asks in the YouTube chat, and you might be able to shed some light on this, can Bevo make the trip to Columbus?
I do not know the answer to that question. It would be a shame if he couldn't, because how many times would Bevo ever get a chance to graze on the beautiful green artificial turf of Ohio Stadium? But it'd be cool because he's one of the iconic mascots, obviously, in college football. And I don't know. I'm gonna check on that as soon as I hang up.
We'll have to figure that. TBD on Bevo. We'll get Anwar Richardson of OrangeBloods.com on with us in 2 minutes. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Right now, get 2 48-ounce cartons of UDF peach ice cream for $10. It's only here for a short time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
The sun is out and the savings are on. Now at Coghlan Chevrolet. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trax for $159 a month. A new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. Or a new 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. See our full inventory at CoglanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 8/4/25.
Double your savings with Logan Services. Save up to $3,200 on a qualifying air conditioning and heating system. And ask about tax credits up to $3,200. Call for your free estimate now. Logan Services.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
We're efforting Anwar Richardson of OrangeBloods.com. It's where he covers the Texas Longhorns, who are Ohio State's Week 1 opponent. In case you didn't know, the Boot will meet the ball at noon Saturday, August 30th. And we were having a Bevo discussion in the break, Tim May. My hope is that he can make the trek from Austin to Columbus, but that's a lot to ask of a lot of different people. And I think, like, where's he? Would he stay at the vet hospital on campus? What,
out by the airport?
Are they right?
Scott Field.
I mean, they wouldn't fly him in.
No. Well, you never know. I mean, you know, they transport racehorses by airplane in some in a lot of respects, but some places. But yeah, that'd be a long trip for Bevo.
I mean, I'm picturing with Ted Carter's Air Force connections, if they could get Navy connections, if they could get him lifted with a helicopter and then like drop him into Ohio Stadium.
That would be a very, maybe from wherever they pin him up in Columbus to the stadium. But I'm sure Ohio State wants to give, if it can help it, very few incentives that will help Texas.
Of course. You want to make this
showdown game
as disadvantageous for the Longhorns as possible.
And if they're beloved Longhorn, maybe what you do is you don't allow him in, and then you set up a huge barbecue pit, smoker pit on one end of the horseshoe down there, and make all the Texas fans think that's Bevo.
You're cooking Bevo.
You're cooking Bevo. You're about to have lunch on Bevo.
So the Tim May Show is something you can get wherever it is you do YouTube?
On YouTube, pretty much, and Spotify, yeah.
You've got an interview coming up that you say you're going to post today, so I'm going to hold you to it, with Ohio State's general manager, Mark Pantoni. It's really interesting for me over the last year to kind of see how other schools have taken what's been done in Columbus and just do that.
Correct.
Like the general manager position that Urban created with Mark Pantoni coming up from Florida, now everybody's doing it, and it includes
everybody.
Who's at Stanford? It's, the quarterback at Stanford is their general manager. And that's like the boss of their team is Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
And he got Frank Reich to come in and coach an ACC team, but all over the country, like you see with Texas A&M. And Notre Dame wanted Texas A&M's general manager at one point. Like, the idea that we have positions like general manager, we're talking about roster limits. They're going to be bringing OTAs into the fold coming up here. A salary cap. This is just professionalism, man.
Yeah, there is salary. I mean, obviously, you're this is what's interesting as we go down the road here is that, like we talked about, Big East or basketball schools that are only basketball, they don't have football, so the $20.5 million, that's how are they going to divvy it up?
Yeah.
That's really going to change the landscape in that regard. But yeah, with football, Mark Pantoni is a trailblazer in so many ways. He came in as basically recruiting coordinator. He started at Florida as a guy helping out in the recruiting aspect of things, giving tours of campus and things like that. But his passion for college football and how you build rosters, that's what we talked about. It has changed so much, and he has been on the ground floor of all of those changes as opposed to trying to jump on board. And that's what's gotten me about, especially with Ryan Day in charge with Ohio State football, the whole program is streamlined, and even though they got a lot of guys working there, streamlined and modern to the T. It's like, and the Mark Pantoni position is one of those.
And the Ohio State Football Corporation is something that everybody is trying to replicate.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, we'll be out at Ohio State's fall camp. And I'm interested to see how many teams are going to be doing that exact same thing for their schools, getting fans to shell out a couple of dollars to go and watch their teams practice.
Yeah.
And have all of the activations that are around with it. Like IMG, Learfield, they do a great job just bringing in sponsors and bringing in other things for kids to do at what's become an NFL training camp.
Yeah.
For the little time I was in Cleveland covering the Browns, they did exactly that.
Yeah. And, if you're a big-time college football fan, just watch it. I've always enjoyed watching practice because I'm talking about real practice. We rarely ever get to watch real practice where, they're hitting each other.
Right.
We get ushered out before a lot of that happens, or the one day you get to watch a full practice, they don't do that at all. They're in shells, as they say. But I've always enjoyed because you can actually see people getting better or worse. I used to get to go to practice every day back in when I first started covering Ohio State, and through almost all the way through the John Cooper era, and you could see guys get better and worse, and catching on, et cetera, and who was really making a move on on the depth chart and stuff. So yes, it's really funny when you can sell tickets and make money for practice.
We got now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Anwar Richardson joins us. He covers the Texas Longhorns for OrangeBloods.com. Anwar, thanks so much for giving us some time this morning. Arch Manning, his first SEC Media Day. How do you think he did? And how do you think Steve Sarkisian's handled this quarterback handoff between Quinn Ewers and Arch?
Flo, thanks for having me on. From a, overall performance standpoint, I would say Arch did really good. He's been in the spotlight and the limelight for a long time. So being interviewed is not a huge deal for him. But being interviewed in that setting where, you guys know that you're doing back-to-back interviews, you're doing podcasts, you're doing someone's television thing, then you have, a local session, you have your main session. So you're talking hours and hours of being interviewed. But the feedback that I got, I was there, but also talked to people behind the scenes, and everyone feels like he handled that whole situation well. Everyone feels like he represented the university well, charismatic, everything. So, I think that part was good. As far as the transition and, kind of the handing of the baton, it's kind of started a little bit last year. When you started seeing Arch getting on the field and being in a little bit of packages. Arch also had a chance to start in 2 games last year. So, he's talked about, hey, he's been able to learn a lot just by sitting back and watching Quinn. Wasn't the ideal situation for him because he didn't necessarily want to have to sit. But, if you're a Manning, I think you understand quarterback development and you understand, like, sometimes you have to wait your turn. And now they feel like, hey, their offense has a good chance, and this team has a good chance to really kind of break through that semifinal ceiling and really take it up to the next level.
Yeah, Anwar, this is Tim May. Yeah, it has been a semifinal ceiling. You're exactly right, but it is curious. Almost like Texas is where Ohio State was last year. From the standpoint of
mine is people wanting the coach fired.
Yes,
mine is that part.
Yeah, minus that part. But you know what I'm saying? If not now, when? Right? Is more the question. Yeah. And how much flack has Sarkisian caught from your group? The media for maybe how that quarterback situation was handled last year. If in fact we're talking about now, you know how Paul Finebaum goes off on Arch Manning like he's the next great player since Tim Tebow. You've heard all that, right?
Yes, I have.
Well, he was there last year, right? And was his second. You know what I mean? Why do you think he didn't get on the field in a permanent basis as that season went on last year? And Quinn had some great moments, but also had some stumbles, and just what's your inside take on that?
I mean, I think there's a couple of things, as relates to that conversation topic. One, Sark was forced to bench, Quinn in that Georgia game, the first one.
Yeah.
I think if Arch comes in and looks the way that people think he could look, right?
Good point.
He throws a touchdown, throws 2 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Sark looks back.
Right.
But Arch didn't do that. So at that point, it was almost like he had that window. He had that opportunity. He didn't capitalize on it. And then it was easier for Sark to go back and double down on staying with Quinn. And again, maybe if he gets thrown in a different game, maybe it's somewhat different results. But
Good point.
At the end of the day, I think that's the main thing. I also think it was a struggle for Sark because when Sark got here, Quinn was the first real main attraction kind of guy that he was able to pull, right? He gets there in year one. They kind of struggled. He's able to get Quinn to transfer to Texas, and now all of a sudden, he's got a 5-star. He's got the kid from Texas that everyone loves, right? So
Yeah.
I just think that he had so much invested in him that it was just really hard to permanently pull the plug, especially after that Georgia game where Arch didn't really take the reins. So, the belief behind the scenes, though, is that Arch has grown, he's developed, he is a leader. They've identified him as a leader of this team, and so they believe he's a guy he's more of a trash talker than Quinn was. Quinn. Some of these guys, and you've seen it before. Like some guys are quarterbacks and they don't seem comfortable in that talking role. And then, but Arch is a little bit different. He's more of a regular, down to earth kind of guy. He likes to eat at Chipotle, and so it's just a different vibe. And I think there's a different set of expectations with him.
OrangeBloods.com to properly prepare you for Texas on August 30th. Anwar Richardson covers the Longhorns for that website, and he joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. On the field, Anwar, how do you expect this Texas offense to look, replacing what was lost on the offensive line, brand new quarterback, potentially double-headed running back situation? What should Buckeye fans look to expect from that attack?
It's interesting as you talk about it, right? And even on the offensive line, they lost 3 guys to the NFL draft. So, they have a bunch of what I would say young guys, not a ton of people who have been proven, being quite honest with you. They did get a transfer by the name of Emmett Mosley V. He comes from Stanford. There's some high hopes for him. There's Ryan Wingo, who's the 5-star receiver out of St. Louis. There's a hopes that he's going to be a sophomore. There's a hope that he's going to be a guy that takes a next step. They're able to get a Cal transfer tight end by the name of Jack Endries. He comes in, so they feel like they have a lot of good parts. They're hopeful that C.J. Baxter will be healthy and ready to go, but they do have Quintravion Wisener, who's a 1,000-yard back. I think similar to Ohio State, the easiest way to say it is there's talent on the roster. The same way Ohio State has talent and tons of talented guys on the roster, there's tons of talent on the roster. You may not have tons of, on the offensive side, a bunch of known/proven commodities, but they've recruited at such a high level. It's just a matter of kind of plug and play for them. I think for me, if you're talking about the Ohio State perspective, the main thing to me is that the Texas defense is going to be real salty again. This is a defense that's going to have Anthony Hill Jr. at the linebacker position. Some say he might be a top 10 pick in next year's NFL draft coming out early. Colin Simmons, he's an edge guy. He's a guy that's going into his sophomore year, but he's an outstanding stud. They feel really good about all the guy. Ethan Berger's another guy on the edge. They feel really good about the linebackers, and they love their DBs. So from a defensive perspective, this team has a chance to be as good, if not potentially better, than the defensive product that you saw last year.
Only the game that everyone's been looking forward to all year, August 30th, Ohio State and Texas. Anwar Richardson, our guest, he covers the Longhorns for orangebloods.com. Anwar, thanks so much for giving us the time at the end of this busy week. We appreciate it. We look forward to talking to you before that game come August 30th. Bud, enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, guys.
And he joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, NEAT. Those are the 4 letters that spell NEAT. It's the bourbon event going down at the Cherry Valley Hotel in Newark, Saturday, July 26th. We've got a pair of tickets for you to win. If you are caller number 2, 821-9710 for that. Again, 821-9710, a pair of tickets to NEAT, a bourbon event at the Cherry Valley Hotel in Newark on Saturday, July 26th. We will do 3 things next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hey, it's Anthony. I actually enjoy the off-season. Gives me a chance to be really active, travel, be on the move. But when my back started giving me pain, I wasn't going to just deal with it this time. I went to the Good Feet store. Their personally fit arch supports got my feet into their ideal alignment, and I could already feel the difference in my back immediately. And they educated me. I had no clue. We actually have several arches under our feet, and those cushy over-the-counter insoles were not going to do the trick. So many people suffering with pain can benefit from their system. People with pain in their feet, ankles, lower legs, knees, hips, and more. I've been wearing my personally fit arch supports for a while now, and they've given me the motivation and confidence to be as active as I want to be. The Good Feet store thrives on being solution-oriented. Go in. The fitting is free. They want you to try them in the store and feel them for yourself. So get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City and on Polaris Parkway. Or check them out at goodfeet.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents Journey's music as you've never heard it before. The Columbus Symphony performs Winborn's The Music of Journey. Vocalist Justin Sargent, both a full rock band and orchestra, capture Journey's timeless music. Saturday, July 19th at the Columbus Commons. The Columbus Symphony performs Winborn's The Music of Journey. Get tickets now at picnicwiththepops.com or at the Kappa Ticket Center.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HinderMotorCompany.com.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Our thanks to Anwar Richardson for joining us in the last segment. If you missed anything from today's show, our discussion with Anwar, our interview with Paul Finebaum, 971BFS for those individual interviews, or wherever it is you do your podcasting, or on YouTube. You can find us, Tim May, we're everywhere, including you later today with Mark Pantoni, the Tim May podcast, which you can find on YouTube.
Yeah, Tim May Show, absolutely.
Tim May Show podcast, thank you.
Whatever you want to call it, just don't call it late for snacks.
Would never think to do that. The Daily Fan Poll asks, if you had to choose today, who would you pick to win the AFC North between these two options, the Ravens or the field? 55% say the field. 44, the Ravens. What about you?
I don't really have an opinion on that.
No?
But I'd say Ravens.
I'm going to go with Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
I'm with you. I'll go the field, and I'll go specifically the Bengals.
Bengals or Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers.
Yeah. I'm just curious about Lamar Jackson. Eventually, the question's going to get asked if it's not being asked already.
One Mark Andrews drop from, I think, having a completely different conversation.
Correct.
And
but it still has to happen.
That is football, folks.
Yes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
First thing for me, Jordan Hudson might be playing checkers, or might be playing chess, and we've all been playing checkers. A new report from Front Office Sports has Bill Belichick doing a Hard Knocks-style documentary for Hulu this upcoming year.
Good for him.
With the North Carolina Tar Heels. And the first thing I thought when I read that report was, did Hulu offer more than HBO? Because college football is all about finding new money. And if that's the case, good for them for securing that if it's a bigger bag.
Yeah, everybody needs more money, right? I think that's what we're learning in this modern age.
Never have enough.
Can't have enough. But Bill Belichick, is he loosening up here as he gets into the middle of his 70s and making everybody more accessible to his genius? I think the guys that are really good at what they do almost owe it to everybody else to let you kind of behind the scenes a little bit and understand, because when you're dead and gone, you're dead and gone. And I think it's kind of cool to watch the Hard Knocks when they were with the Patriots a long time ago. You can just grab a few little things, maybe they don't even know you're getting from it, but of learning about what this guy's all about, and what his program and approach is all about. So I'm looking forward to watching it.
First thing for you.
I'm going home facing rebuilding or 100 yards of three-board fence, and people go, Tim, why don't you hire somebody else to do that? Well, number one, I'm very cheap. Number one. Number two, I like doing stuff like that because 10, 15 years later, I can drive by if I'm not living there anymore. When I'm in the home, somebody can drive me by and say, there's my fence.
There's the fence that I built.
Although I got a feeling that my 4.5 acres is going to be part of a big complex by then. It'll be long gone. But I worked construction my first summer out of high school, and we were involved on 3 big projects in Lufkin, Texas. And every time I go to Lufkin, I drive by all 3 because I put almost every, the Adobe style roofing on this one doctor's clinic. I had the magic touch of hitting the nail just right, where I didn't crack the clay tile, and it's still up there. And I that's as important to me as anything I've ever done.
First thing for me, the basketball tournament begins today, and Carmen's crew, they will be in action tomorrow. They're a 1 seed, and they play Go Time Green Machine to begin their TBT tournament.
Who are they representative of?
Green Machine.
the Ohio State University.
No. I know who that team is. The team they're playing. Do you know their alumni group for that?
No, I do not.
All right, find that out for your second thing, which for me is going to be a welcome back to baseball. The Guardians get to stumble, or after stumbling into the All-Star break, get to kind of stumble out, but against the not-so-Oakland Athletics. And I was asked earlier this week about Rob Manfred and his legacy. Now, if you've got two of your teams playing in minor league facilities and you're about to author 2 work stoppages, you are not a Hall of Fame-worthy commissioner, in my opinion.
We'll see how he maneuvers.
I have little faith.
Anybody can maneuver on a flat sea. It's when the waves are crashing.
They've been choppy ever since Bud Selig.
And the rolls are rolling. That's when you find out about it.
Welcome back, baseball.
Yeah. My number 2 is the Open. It's really funny because you can watch it from dawn till dusk. Actually, you can watch it pre-dawn till dusk. But the TV there is always the local guys doing the television production, from a camera standpoint, and how they lose track. You get so spoiled by the United States networks and how they cover golf, and they almost have a camera on the ball anymore, in the ball. Whereas at the British Open, as I still call it, you'll see a guy hit a tee shot, and then you don't see where the ball ends up sometimes. And all of a sudden they're scrambling around to try to show you where the ball ends up. So never underestimate the value of a good cameraman.
Second thing for me, so Go Time Green Machine is set to make their TBT debut in this year's tournament, bringing together top talent from Midwest-based TBL teams. They're known for their grit and chemistry. They aim to make an immediate impact on the tournament with a deep, battle-tested roster.
Is North Texas the Mean Green?
The Mean Green?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't know, and it is, I guess, not the case.
Roughness.
Yeah, no time for 3 things from all of us, but the final thing is for you, Tim May. This was a pleasure today. Best of luck and congratulations for your family as you've got a big week next week.
Yeah.
But Bo will be back Monday as we begin Big Ten Media Days right into Ohio State's training camp Monday, 9 a.m. right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Bourbon. Cherry Valley Hotel will be hosting a bourbon event called Neat on Saturday, July 26th from 4 to 9 p.m. Explore 15 distilleries, including Woodford, Middle West, and Watershed, along with live music, a cigar bar, classes, and more. For more information, visit cherryvalleyhotel.com.
Colin Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Are your leaky windows costing you money? Yes, they are. Right now, when you call my guys at Universal Windows Direct, you get payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Seriously, upgrade your home now and relax until next year. Call now and get a free in-home window and energy assessment. Choose the payment plan that's right for you. 614-502-5220 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota of Columbus. Summer is the perfect time to gear up in a new truck from Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, drive home the 2025 Toyota Tundra with 1.99 APR for 72 months, or take command of the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, also just 1.99 APR for 72 months. Get power, performance, and unbeatable savings, all at Germain Toyota, located at 5711 Scarborough Boulevard on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Shop online anytime at germaintoyota.net.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I'm gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/game.